Hey! You are listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Welcome to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast with James Wilson and Rob Eickhoff.
Semi-seconds in automatic minutes, finishing to diminish the position that was given risen.
That one's recording.
Okay, so it means we're back.
Going. We're back.
We're back.
Episode 38.
38. Right on.
Yeah. 38.
Cool. So, yeah, another episode after training. Caught a good knee to the lip, so
You got a little cut on the inside of your lip.
Yeah.
Those are one of the most annoying, dude.
Oh, they are.
Right on the inside of your lip, because then you always hit it when you go to drink something, or you go to take a bite of something, you get a little salt in there.
A little bit,
stings.
yeah.
You know what really stings? Is fucking toothpaste.
Oh, no.
Certain kinds of toothpaste don't. Like, I haven't figured it out, but like some kinds of toothpaste, you get a cut on the inside of your lip. It stings like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, I haven't had one this good in a while, which is hilarious because it was one of the new white belts who, that Stormy guy. Have you met him yet? Yeah, he just signed up. But, I mean, he caught me, and I can't say it was, it was just innocent. It wasn't even necessarily like white belt flopping. And, dude, honestly, I've been fucking caught in the head 10 times harder by you in the last week. And... but it just happened to hit just perfect on my tooth and cut it a little bit. And I didn't realize it, but did you see me when I was rolling?
You had blood all over your teeth.
I didn't.
You were talking,
it.
and I looked at you. I was like, dude, your whole mouth is full of blood. All your teeth were red. I was like, you might need to do something about that.
Yeah, that was funny. I didn't realize it because we got done rolling, and the guy looked at me and he's like, oh shit, dude, I catch you in the lip, and I was laughing. I was like, yeah, man, it's fine. It happens, and blah, blah, blah. So, but yeah, just one of those things, man. It is a contact sport.
It happens.
We call it the gentle art, but
it is far from that.
It's kind of tongue-in-cheek at this point. So, we're getting strangled out. I got strangled out pretty good by you today.
That'll happen.
That last one you got me with, man. Yeah.
The lapel choke?
Yeah, that was a good one. I was freaking...
You held out for a while.
I did not want to tap to it. I
had a good grip on it. And I was like... I had thought about letting go. But then I was like, no, man, I got too good of a grip. I was like, I'm choking the fuck out of him with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I could tell. It was sunk in.
It was sunk in.
Yeah, like this side was just like... There was no blood. The room was getting fuzzy. I could tell, but I was right on the edge where I could tell I could control it. Because, I was just stuck. But yeah, that last one I was fighting. I finally just had to tap. I was like, all right, I'm not going anywhere, and it's just going to be silly to wait till I pass out. And then I'm just going to have a gnarly gi hickey. Because he was so sweaty today, man.
Dude, it was so hot.
God, it was hot today. Yeah, it was fucking one of those days that...
Dude, I like those days where you just fucking... my gi's hanging on my car outside in your driveway right now. Just that thing was... Dude, I could almost wring it out.
Yeah.
It was so wet.
Oh, yeah, man. I finished rolling. I hate to say it. I was too disgusted to be in my own gi anymore.
Yeah, dude.
It was just like when I was rolling, it was fine, but I finished
as soon as you
around and I stopped, and I was just... And I think like it was one, like we were down to odd man out, and I was just like odd man out at that last round, and we've been rolling for an hour, and I was just like, I gotta get the fuck out of this gi, man. I can't stand around in this thing for another 5 minutes waiting for a round to end and then add to it. So
yeah, it's like I don't take rounds off. Like
I try not to, man. I hate taking rounds off.
I take advantage of my higher status in the gym. Like if we have an odd number of people, like in a big open mat day, like fuck it. Like once we set the timer for that first round, I don't stop until I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
That's one of the perks of being a higher belt. I don't have to.
No, for sure.
I exercise that perk. There's two perks that I really enjoy exercising. That's one of them.
What's the other one?
The other one is not having to move. When you're rolling with your partner and two other people.
The belt math always tilts in your favor now.
The belt math always tilts in my favor. So unless I'm in a super simple position and the people that crash into me are in a more complex position, then I'll move.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen. 99% of the time,
Yep.
I'm like, no, you motherfuckers are moving.
Yeah,
like
that's
we burned
right.
the spot on the mat.
That's true. That's true, man. That's funny.
Those are the two privileges that I really like.
Get some privileges. So, yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Anyways, though, good day of training.
It was a good day of training.
My face is feeling a little beat up.
Yeah, mine too. So.
And we trained hard last night, too. Dude, my fucking leg was cramping up. I went to bed. And I don't know if you ever get it, man, but like on the inside of my thigh, like right here, will cramp like a motherfucker, dude.
No.
I don't like that head of my quad. I don't know what that is, or like if it's what is it? Your adductors in here?
Yeah, your adductors.
Your adductors. Dude, that'll cramp so fucking bad on me, man. Like it's weird. You know how you get a hamstring?
Yeah. Oh,
Once in
yeah.
a while, I get hamstring cramps or calf cramps. Dude, right there. Fucking torturous, man. It kept cramping up on me while I was trying to sleep last night.
Oh, man.
I went to bed, and then I don't know, it must have been midnight-ish, I don't know. I rolled over and moved just right, and that fucker cramped on me. Dude, shot me up. And I had to get up and fucking walk a lap around my house. Go drink some water, man. Like, god damn it, dude. It was cramping so bad. I get it, that in particular spot, man. After a hard night of training, like I'll get that pretty common.
That's one of those weird things, man. I never get cramps.
And it's only I used to never get it in that spot on my leg until I had knee surgery on this leg.
Mm.
And I think it just hasn't, like, that leg's still not quite as big as my other leg or something, you know, and that's been 2 fucking years, but
yeah,
I don't get it on the other side, and I nenever got it prior to surgery.
Huh.
But ever since fucking ACL reconstruction, man.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Dude, that's a nasty. I'd rather have a hamstring cramp. Because you can straighten your leg and kind of deal with that.
Yeah.
This, dude, it's... Yeah, I'm like... when it happens, I turn into like this fucking contortionist, man. I'm doing like a fucking... Like a side split and a lunge like in the middle of the night. Like, like trying to get rid of this cramp.
Warrior 3.
Warrior 3, fucking whatever it is, dude. It's terrible, man. Fucking terrible.
No, I am extremely lucky. Like, I can probably count on one hand the amount of times I've cramped up rolling.
Serious?
Yeah.
Feet,
calves, hands,
nothing?
calves, hamstrings, anything.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like probably, one hand. Probably like not including my thumb. So, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the mountain biking thing. I never had problems with cramps mountain biking. But, like, I tend to... Like I've always done well in hot weather, like running. Like the heat never bothered me like it did a lot of other people.
Must be your Indian roots, your Native American.
It must be, dude. Something
Native American roots.
Something digging deep in there.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things I've noticed. Like the heat doesn't affect me the way it does other people. And I've never really had a problem with cramping. Like, I can never remember. Like, I've had some cramps. I've caught some cramps for sure. Like, probably the worst one, man. I remember, so, like, I got into mountain biking. But before I got into mountain biking, I'd had another bike. And I remember I was staying with my grandparents. And they lived near these woods in Oklahoma. And, you know, I was decided to go for a bike ride. Because it was technically a mountain bike that I had. And I was like, oh, I'll go check this out. And dude, I got out in the fucking woods of Oklahoma and like 90% humidity at 95 degrees and just like dying, just like sweating so hard. And I remember my quads cramped up, like I couldn't move my legs.
Just like seized right up.
Just seized up, man.
Yeah.
Just whack. And I was just like, oh, and I literally couldn't walk. I couldn't move. And I'm sitting there, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And I had like a bottle of water that I brought with me, because again, like I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm doing, and I was just sipping that water, but I realized, like, man, I need like my cat, like especially the fucking the little inner head on the knee there, like those buggers were just like, wah! And so it's like, all right, I gotta fucking get these things to uncramp. So I just chugged my water, what I had left, and it got him to. I finally stopped cramping. Again, I don't know if the two things are related, but I think that they were. And I remember thinking, like, dude, you got to get the fuck out of here. Because if this happens again and you're out of water, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? You're fucked. And, I mean, nobody really knows where I'm at. So I remember, man, I had one of those, like, oh, fuck moments. And yeah, I ended up like finding a road. So at least I knew that if I cramped up, I'd be on the side of a fucking road, a paved road. I could like
wave your hand.
Yeah, wave people down for help. So, but that was by far the worst cramping episode I've ever had in my life.
Man, that's crazy because I'll cramp regularly, like after hard training.
Yeah.
We train pretty hard today. I mean, I've drank quite a bit of water, so I should be good, but it is not out of the realm of possibility that once I drive home from here, when I go to get out of my car at the house, if I don't get out just right, my hamstring will cramp up. And I can kind of tell the signs. Like, as I'm getting close to my house, I'll start assessing my body. Like, all right, there's a potential I could cramp when I get out of the car today, so let's fucking make sure I get out intelligently. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I think it might be just because I sweat like a motherfucker, dude.
I do too. I don't know what it is. I got no clue.
I sweat, and I notice if I keep my salt intake up, like if I make sure I put some salt in my water bottle,
yeah,
it'll definitely. Oh no, I have to do that.
I know.
And during the summer, I have to. If I don't do that, I cramp bad.
See, man, I never did that until like recently. So I'll do it, but I'm not religious about it. So.
I notice a big difference.
That's one of those things where I'm like, there's a genetic component to that for sure. Because I know I see it all the time. Like, I mean, people catch cramps pretty regularly rolling, you know, you're just like holding this position in some weird awkward angle and you're just staying tight, and I'm like the fucking king of that shit. I'm like the master rigor mortis guard, you know, guy. And so you'd think like I would be catching cramps all the time, but yeah, it's just one of those weird things.
Got some good genes when it comes to that or something.
That or it's my training program, so for 1995 I'll share it with whoever wants James Wilson's anti-cramping
program.
Yeah, exactly. Might include smoking a lot of pot.
Maybe that's it.
It may be.
I can't smoke weed because of the stupid fucking drug testing.
It's a vasodilator, man, so it opens up your blood vessels and shit.
Maybe I'll just take Viagra.
Hey.
Kind of does the same thing,
Kind of does the same thing, but I don't know if I want to be rolling with you with a boner, bro. You get on my back, I don't know. That may motivate me to move.
You'd be like, man, is that your cup? Like, no, I'm not wearing a cup.
Oh, no. No.
It's fucked up.
Maybe increase your odds of neon nard, so. Anyways, we'll leave that visual alone.
Yeah. We'll just leave that one alone.
Yeah. Anyways. So, what do you got any notes from?
I got some notes.
Do you? I got through some books and some podcasts and shit, so a few things floating around in my head, but.
I got, the first one is, I wanted to share, I had a little mini victory over some societal norms.
Okay.
Anytime I can do a little shake and bake on a societal expectation, I fucking like it.
I like that too.
I know this won't mean much to anybody, but like, it was a little win for me. So, I had this shitty ass dresser in my bedroom. I don't know how old this thing is. I was limping it along. Like, I couldn't close a couple of the drawers because the bottoms were falling out. And, you know, it's a cheapo thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's some sort of IKEA or Walmart special. I don't know what the fuck this thing was. I kind of jerry-rigged it because I had a couple drawers that really broke on me a few months back and I couldn't close them. So I had just taken the drawers out and they were sitting on the ground. And so I jerry-rigged them because I got sick of looking at them and got them to close again, but then they fucking fell apart again. It's like, that's it. I'm fucking getting rid of this dresser. Like, I'm just taking it out, taking a hammer to it and busting it up. So I did that, and then instantly, just the normal thought process was, well, I need a new dresser. So then I get online, and I'm looking at fucking the IKEA website, and, you know, Amazon, and, you know, like $80, $100, $200, and I'm like, I'm not spending this kind of money on a fucking dresser. So I was like, all right, let's go like the Craigslist route. So then I was about to go to Craigslist, and then I started thinking about like garage sales and shit. Like, let's just go buy some, you know, Goodwill or something. And then I got thinking to myself, I was like, why the fuck do I need a dresser? Who am I, Martha fucking Stewart? You know, why do I need a goddamn dresser? So I just went to Lowe's, and I just bought like a couple of those Rubbermaid totes.
Yeah.
You know, I bought a couple little tiny ones, man, for like $5 for like my socks and underwear. I got a couple of like medium-sized ones for like, you know, warm-up pants and sweatshirts. That's it. So I went and spent $20 on Rubbermaid totes, and those were what I fucking keep my clothes in. I don't need a goddamn dresser.
Nice, dude.
I was like, yeah, and that way, the house floods, my shit's dry.
There you go.
Fucking comes time to move.
Bug out.
Shit's packed, ready to fucking go.
Throw in the back of your car.
That's already got them put in totes. I'm good to go.
So
fucking dressers.
What you're saying is the college students have had it right all along.
Is that how they do it?
Yeah, man. Yeah. You turn into a college student. You've got
no
furniture.
No furniture.
Your clothes are in plastic totes.
Plastic totes. It's the fucking move.
Oh, you just needed 2 cinder blocks with a piece of wood between them to make a table or a little, dresser or something, and you're there, man. You could, milk crates.
For what? What am I creating?
To make a table. And then instead of the cinder blocks, you can just get the fucking milk crates. Now the milk crates are even better because those things, when you're not using it as a table,
you can store stuff.
You can store stuff in them. You can take them and use them to like carry shit around. I'm sure you could find an exercise purpose for those fuckers.
Yeah.
So,
I do realize, like, once I did this, when I was out in my driveway breaking this fucking dresser apart with my sledgehammer, having fun. This was after I was done power washing my area rug.
Yeah.
And I started thinking to myself, like, man, the longer I'm single, the more and more undomesticated I come. It just kind of happens, you just kind of. I don't know if that's good or bad.
It is.
It is just what it is.
What it is.
It is what it is.
I think both sides are good, but yeah, women definitely motivate us to be more domesticated.
Yeah, I find there's so much fluff. Like right now, like I had to cover a window, so I just put a bed sheet over it. Like I was gonna go spend money on curtains. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Again, this thought came in. Who am I, Martha fucking Stewart? No. Wow. Why am I spending money on this? Like, I know it doesn't look great, but hey, I accomplished its task.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, if you're happy with it, I would say.
Yeah, I'm happy with
that's all that matters.
No, I'm happy. I'm content that the purpose is served.
I think that there's some feng shui that's not quite in line for your tastes.
Yeah, there's a little embarrassment to where, like, if someone came over my house, I'd be like, yeah, it's not quite in order.
Do you feel the energy in the room flows correctly?
Oh yeah, just because it's all wide open. No, it's good.
At the curtain or the bed sheet curtain.
No, I think it's good energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The aesthetic flow. Feels.
Yeah, it feels good.
All right. As long as that's all right. I just feel like, for me, I always argue. It's like, why is a Japanese Zen garden? Like it is. I mean, fuck. Like, who cares? They're not Martha fucking Stewart. You know what I mean? You can make the same argument, but there's something in the order.
Yeah, but see, I agree with you 100% because I'm an orderly person.
Yeah, that's why I'm interested.
I may not have like the pretty stuff, but what I have is a neat and order. You know what I'm saying? Like the house is fucking clean.
Right.
Everything's in its spot.
That's why I don't think that the plastic totes necessarily are gonna get you, but I think that eventually there's going to be some mental irritation towards the bedsheet curtain.
Oh, I agree with you there.
That will motivate you to do something.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there.
So
there's because it looks like shit.
There you go. And again, it's funny because like it's that the doing things that appear to be done for other people, but you're doing them because you enjoy doing them. Like, that's motivation enough. And just because other people enjoy them too, and it's a societal norm, doesn't necessarily mean that you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Right? So just because the fucking societal norm is to mow your lawn, it doesn't mean to just like let your front yard turn into a fucking overgrown weed jungle. There's like, that's not. It
gives you peace of mind.
It does, man. I think that there's something. How you do one thing is how you do everything, and so like how you take care of your stuff is going to reflect how. So I think that there's something to that, which is again like you're right. Like just from a logical standpoint, like when you're talking about staying in your fence, it's hilarious. I don't know why I think about that, but because I'll get stuck in the same thing. I'll be doing something like the other day I was weeding my front yard. And probably spent like a good hour weeding it because it just got out of control and I hadn't been on it. And there were a couple times when I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks. What the fuck am I doing this for? Like, who cares? And I was thinking about, like, you paint your fence, and I'm like, but I remember telling you, and then that's the thing is, like, you enjoy how it looks.
Yeah, you do. And when you come home and you see things in a nice and orderly fashion, and it looks nice, like it does. For peace of mind, dude, it looks nice.
It looks, you enjoy it. So
and it's less stressful for you. So there is benefit.
Yeah, which may actually be why it's a societal norm.
It could be.
Like, there's probably a reason there's basic heuristics among. I mean, dude, you look at societies. I don't know. I haven't studied every society super closely, but I would tend to think that most of them lean towards the basic ideas of taking care of your shit, and that includes, like, again, it's like, I'm not keeping this looking good to look good. It looks good because I'm taking care of it.
You're just taking pride in what you own.
So you take pride in what you own. You're taking care of it. And a side effect of that is it looks good. Yeah. So, like, it's not, I think that's the important thing too, is like, that's what gets lost, is like, there's so much that people do in today's society that's like superficial just to look good. But it's like, man, just take care of your shit.
Take care of your shit.
Take care of your shit. I mean,
it all goes back to that. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. It is, like you say, it is a societal norm, but there is a peace of mind that comes with it.
Yeah.
And when you see somebody that just doesn't take care of their shit, and
there's names for that, like
lazy,
white trash,
and
like that.
Lazy.
Yeah.
And it manifests themselves in, like, their house is shitty. Their appearance is shitty. They're not healthy generally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just, you see their laziness manifest itself in all areas of their life. A lot of different areas of their life.
Yeah.
So.
No, I know, man, but it is walking that fine line.
It is.
Like,
it's
like, why do you know what a duvet is? How does that help you? How does that help your fucking arm bars?
It doesn't help your fucking arm bars.
How does a dresser help your arm bars? It doesn't. So, but yeah, it's
the totes.
It's that yin and the yang.
I'm okay with the Rubbermaid totes because I can stack them. I can stack them over in the corner. They're nice, organized, and neat. Yeah, the bed sheet on the window is definitely white trash, ghetto. I'll address that situation. Yeah. I'll come across the sale at Bed Bath & Beyond or something.
Yeah,
I'll fix it.
Yeah.
But it's not high on the priority list.
Right. It's just enough.
But it's there. It's enough to bug me when I'm laying there and I see it. I'm like, God damn it! It is. Like, I got to spend money on that.
Yeah, it's funny.
But it make you feel better.
There's something to that. I mean, that feng shui, whatever you want to call it.
Dude, I even get it. Like, I got a neighbor right across the street from me that I don't know if they fucking lost. I think they lost their house. Just speculating, They're always kind of goofy bunch of people. I never saw a for sale sign. And now they bugged out. They're gone. They've slowly seen them packing up and they're gone. So I'm speculating they stopped making the payments and they lost their house. And so now, there's nobody there. And so now the fucking front yard is just going to shit. Just like weeds and bushes and like... It's going to get to the point where I'm going to go over and fucking clean it. Just because, I got to see it constantly, and it just bothers me.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it, man. I was walking my dogs by it the other day. I'm like, I'm going to have to fucking clean this yard up just so I don't have to fucking see it. I'm going to have to spend an hour over here. Just whatever it is, but I just don't like seeing it.
Yeah.
Even though I have nothing to do with it, but I got to see it, the disorderliness of it. And it's it's annoying.
Yeah. No, man.
It's fucking annoying.
And I mean, really, the other thing is it becomes infectious. That's what you don't want.
Yeah.
Like, you do not want, like, I don't know, anyone who's got some slant. Because there's people, I think we talked about last time, there's always those people on the edge, right? And it's like the societal norm can push them towards one edge or the other, either towards, like, being positive in how they're reacting to things or negative. And again, like, they need to be stronger and take responsibility, blah, blah, blah. But that's one of those things. Like, if you live in a neighborhood where everyone's taking care of their shit, those people who are kind of on that edge are going to be pushed towards, like, taking care of their shit. And, you start letting a couple houses go. And, I mean, that's you see it. That's what happens in neighborhoods and even cities, It just starts in one area and fucking spreads. So, there's something to that for sure.
Yeah, so I'll be over cleaning up my fucking abandoned neighbor house here before too long. I can just see it now.
That's too bad. Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I don't mind a little hard work, a little sweat.
Yeah, well, if the bank's going to take over the house, they should have to keep up.
Oh, I'm sure once they try to sell it, they will.
Yeah.
But how long is that going to be? You know what I mean? Like I haven't seen a foreclosed sign or for sale sign over there yet, and it's getting pretty fucking unruly, man.
Yeah, I know. I remember we had that. God, I forget. We had a house next door to us actually here in Fruita when I first moved here. That happened. I forget who was there originally, but the people disappeared, and yeah, it was like. God, it was probably the better part of a year. There was like nothing on the house. Like you could tell it was abandoned, but there was no like nothing going on. And then it was like a year later they started to like, the bank finally came in and got stuff going. So
it takes a long fucking time.
It does, man. It does. So.
It makes me think about a lot of shit. Like damn, like why? What happened? Why? Like what choices what went wrong to where they couldn't make that payment anymore?
Yeah.
It's
yeah, it's tough.
It's tough, dude. You try to put yourself in their shoes, and it's easy to be judgmental.
Yeah.
But that's where I go to automatically is like, what the fuck, man? You couldn't go get a job? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of it is biting off more than you can chew because so many people live based on best case scenario.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I make X amount of dollars, so if I budget this down to the penny, then and I get a little overtime here and there.
Well, see that's dude. I've seen it. I've been in the workforce, in machine shops and especially in the oil field. When I worked for Halliburton, I saw this bad. Like a lot of guys would base their cost of living on getting 100 hours a week. Instead of like, okay, this is what I would make if we worked 40. This is what we need to fucking live on. Everything above this is just extra. Oh no, they would base what they fucking lived on off of like 80 to 100 hours a week. So if they were getting any less than that, then they were scrambling. And I saw that. Dude, it was mind blowing to me how many people would do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you are just setting yourself up for stress upon stress, man.
Dude, I've been there. I remember early on, is just moved out of my parents' house and trying to live on my own, and you're making like $8 an hour, $9 an hour, whatever the fuck it was, and that you were trying to live to the penny, and things never worked out perfectly. It was like, dude, every 6 months it seemed like there was some money emergency or whatever that had to be addressed, and so it took some figuring out, and it's hard, dude. It's such a conscious decision. I mean, dude, something like like a car. It seems simple, right? But like you and I, like we're in the same boat. Like we own our cars.
Yeah. They're old, nothing special.
Right,
dude.
yeah, and we're gonna drive them until they stop fucking running, and then we're gonna figure out like, okay, what's the most budget oriented way we can get into another car that's gonna last us a decent amount of time, or I don't know. You said you mentioned you want to get a new car or something because of electronic shit, right?
Well, yeah, I honestly I've been thinking a lot about this, and I think this is what I might do. And I thought about the economics of it. I got to look into it a little bit more. But so I'm going to keep that car I have. It's a Subaru Outback, runs like a champ, but it's paid off. And I'm just going to drive that thing until I just fucking, till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
But man, I think the move might be is to like lease like a Chevy Volt or a Toyota Prius, like something that gets like 50 miles to the gallon, no fucking frills, just like stripped down so your payment's $150 a month. And when you lease it, you're basically renting the fucking thing. And that way, you have that peace of mind to where you always have a good, dependable car.
Yeah.
If something fucks up on it, you take it in. Be like, hey, motherfuckers, fix it. Like, I'm renting this from you.
Yeah.
And then that way, you always have a really good, dependable car, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might not be a bad way to go. Because I was thinking about this. Like, I saw a fucking badass car drive by the other day. And for a minute, just the guy in me, I see that, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Fuck yeah.
But then I think to myself, like, dude, well, what are you going to do with that? You drive fast, and you're going to get fucking tickets. Like, well, what are you going to do? Like, there's no... I talk myself out of it super fast. That's how I can tell I'm getting older. Like, no, there's no desire. Like, I say no. There's a tiny bit of desire in me to have, like, a cool-ass car. But it's so nil. Like, no, man, I just want something that's reliable, runs... And I don't even have to fucking think about it, man.
Well, it's not even, it's the payment you don't want.
Yeah, that's...
You know what I mean? Like, it's not even the car. I mean, if you woke up tomorrow and you had $10 million in your account,
of course,
you could go pay cash for a car.
That's different. I don't want the payment.
So that's really what it is.
Right.
But that kind of leads back to what I was saying, which is like it's a conscious decision. Like that is one of those societal norms. Having a nice car, a nice new car, like that is a societal norm that is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like there's that, you know, there's you feel good about your car, but that payment that you've taken on is a devil that you've made a deal with. And dude, it's insane when I think about, like, I would love a new car. Like I'm the same boat. I'm driving a fucking like 97, Passport. And I'd fucking love to have a newer car. But every time, man, I get that itch, and Kelly and I look into it. It's like, dude, you're taking on a car payment of $350, $400.
And that's not even like a real special car. Like
no.
$300 a month, a car payment. Like you're getting a nice car,
right.
But it's nothing like
$400 or $500 if you want like
if you want
a
something
nicer
real
car.
nice, you're spending $500.
And your insurance is now like super high because you got to get full coverage. You got to add that. So it's like, dude, all of a sudden, for us, we're looking at adding $400, $500 plus $100 a month to our budget, and then you realize that most people out there have 2 or more of those fucking things.
Yep.
And that's $1,000, $1,500 just to
get around.
Cars.
Just to fucking get around.
Insurance and car payments to get around.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The move is, dude, like you get one of those fucking Chevy Volts, stripped down to the fucking no power windows, locks.
Yeah.
Like 12. The price takes on like 12 grand or something.
But the secret is like, don't take on that payment. Like figure out like how not to strap, because that's one of those things that people end up unknowingly strapping themselves down with.
Yeah.
And then it's like, man, now I've got a mortgage and I got 3 car payments, and you wonder like, what happens. And man, honestly, in my opinion, I think like people just get to the point where they just say fuck it and they let all the balls drop. You know what I mean? It's not that they couldn't have like fought to keep things going, but they fucked themselves so hard, and they're just like, fuck it, I can't do it anymore, and they just like give up. And it's like, dude, but you fucked up. It's like, how do you get out of this choke, coach? Dude, you fucked up 3 steps ago, bro. I don't know how to tell you to get out when you're upside down on your house and you got fucking 3 car payments and you've got this fucking credit card payments and all this stuff, and you're just like, robbing Peter to pay Paul sort of thing, and living on the float basically, to steal like a business term. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you when you've gotten to that point. That's really tough. That's a tough like hole to pull yourself out of. But man, I can tell you the best thing to do is not get in that hole in the first place. Like just recognize the bullshit, the credit cards and the car payments.
And we talked about it like nutrition, before. Like the deck is stacked against us.
Oh yeah.
With all the marketing and all the societal norms and pressures, like it is stacked, and all the credit card offers you get in the fucking mail on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I mean, everything you can finance, fucking everything. They want you.
They want you to.
They want you to.
You go to pay, like, I love when PayPal, when you're like, go to pay with PayPal, and you're going to use cash, and they're like, are you sure you don't want to put this on
the
a
PayPal
credit card?
Yeah.
It's like, motherfucker. Like, this is the reason I like PayPal.
They try to get you to use the PayPal credit card all the fucking time. Dude.
Yes. Like that's exactly. Like that, to me, that is the purest example of what you're talking about, how the deck is stacked against us. It's like you're going to pay cash, and these people, and I mean, you get it too. Like it's the old school thing, man. You still get it at some of the department stores, which you probably don't wander into too much. But you go into like Sears or Penny's or whatever, and you'll still get the like, oh, do you want to put this on your Penny's charge card? And if it's, oh, I don't have one. Oh, do you want to sign? You know what I mean?
Best Buy's got the same thing. You go to Best Buy and they try to get you to be 6 months interest free. And then you can go 2 years interest free if you spend $1,500.
Right.
Oh, fuck it. Let's get the 65 inch.
Man. Dude, I don't got to pay. I don't have to make any payments. No interest for 2 years.
No interest. Fuck it.
Free money. Okay. Then you see in this fine print, like after that 2 years, all the interest that was accruing, like, oh, now you owe that. Like if you didn't pay it off in the 2 years, you actually owe, Like, yeah, dude, devil's in the details, man. Those people make a living off of catching people, unsuspecting people and stuff. But anyways, doesn't help your arm bars, so
nope.
Shouldn't be focusing on it. So
nope. Societal norms, man.
Yeah.
There's good and bad.
Good and bad, man. They're not all bad. Like I said, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like mowing your yard and keeping your fence looking decent. Like I think those are societal norms that, you know, most of us can get behind. There's no harm being done. I think it's good for the overall. But yeah, 3-car garage with a new car in each stall and a fucking, you know,
You've gone a little too far.
That's a little too far, man. That's a societal norm I can't get behind. I think is driving us in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So
that's how I wish, you know, the public transportation in our little town isn't great. You know,
yeah, Junction's not.
Junction, you know, like you go to big cities and they got like those fucking rent-a-scooters. You seen those things, man? Those scooters, they do like 30 miles an hour. And, you know, they have these little stations all over the fucking place. And you can just go hop on one. It costs you a couple bucks. You zip it to wherever you need to go and park it, and then.
Now I haven't seen those.
Yeah, I forget what they're called.
The scooters look like a good. I remember back in the day when we had $5 a gallon gasoline, and everyone and their mother had a scooter. Like, man, I was probably like this close to getting one of those things because, I mean, they look like a great way to transport yourself around. But I haven't seen the little. They got like
like big cities have like these like rental ones. You know.
God, how do they get on the liability on? I guess you're just signing a fucking piece of paper that says like once you leave this lot,
it's on you.
Anything's on you, man. We were responsible for nothing. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, that will segue into the next topic. Speaking of liability, did you see that? You know the big company Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah,
whatever, huge fucking company.
Yeah.
They got the bejesus suit out of them recently. They owe, and like, what is it, like a class action suit where a bunch of people sue them?
Yeah.
Like I wrote it down, $4.69 billion.
Whew.
They found fucking asbestos in their baby powder.
In their baby powder?
Yeah, dude.
Whoa.
And it was causing ovarian cancer. A bunch of fucking women got cancer.
Huh.
And they got sued and they lost for $4.69 billion fucking dollars, dude.
They find like they were negligent in the thing, like they knew it was going on and they just like covered it up.
They were okay with it.
They couldn't even just
asbestos in the fucking baby powder, dude.
God, man, like at the you ship that off to some third world country.
Oh, dude.
I mean, forget who it was. It was the. I forget what the fuck it was. It was another company that did something similar. That like they had some drugs that they had created that they found out that they were tainted in some way, and they didn't want to just throw them all away, so they said fuck it and shipped them off to like
I know what you're talking about.
Another country, to like some third world country.
Yeah, what was that?
I
know exactly what you're talking about.
And
it'll come out.
Yeah, but yeah, similar thing. But anyways, but that's. Dude, that's fucking
that's
gnarly.
Crazy. Well, that's another reason, you know, to think about, like, what you put on your body is just as important as what you're putting in your body.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
It's tough, though, when people lie.
It is tough, dude. Like, that is a dirty fucking trick, man. You would think baby powder. I mean, they're putting that shit on your babies. You know, that should be safe.
It should have what it says in it.
It should have what it says in it, man, but it's...
Yeah.
It's not, dude.
That is, yeah. God, that's
makes you think.
Dude, there's so much trust that goes in. Like, I am amazed that, like, dude, our food system, you know, we take that shit for granted. That we eat so much with reckless abandon. And then we can just, you know, we can go to our fridge. We can go to the grocery store, buy whatever we want. We got a fucking bajillion fast food restaurants around us we can go eat. We got access to food everywhere. And it's all safe. It's all clean, safe food for them. You know what I mean? For the most part. Like, to me, it blows my mind that... Because you have to trust. Because that's not been the way it's been for most of human history. Like, food contamination has been a real issue. And so, you have to trust so much that the people who are handling your food are, like, doing what they need to do to make sure your shit's not contaminated. And... Like, when you really think about how much trust you have to put into people to do their fucking jobs so that you can just get through a day with just a lot of stuff that we take for granted just working so we can worry about other shit like our car payments and whatever, you know, it's really kind of mind-boggling.
It is.
But yeah, it's really an interesting thing, like how much, you know, trust we got to place on other people, yet how often other people, as flawed as they are, because I know how much I fuck up, you know, like we still somehow keep it together. Like we're able to, you know, the wheels don't come off for the most part. I mean, history's definitely had moments where it has, but we tend to get them back on. I mean, humans as a whole tend to enjoy having things, you know, working well. So, but yeah, that sucks. The only thing I would add to that, I will, as much as that number is crazy, the sad thing is, I'll bet they made more than that.
Oh, I'm sure it's a drop in a bucket. You know, that means nothing to them. 4.6 billion. Right. I bet you that's nothing to them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a huge corporation.
It was the formula from Fight Club, man. You got a problem with the car, and you do the math, like, you know, what would a recall cost versus what would a class action lawsuit cost, and whatever the lower number is wins.
That's what we're going
and
with.
And you just go with it, and it's like, hey, if the class action is going to cost less than a recall, like, fuck it. Like, just keep running with it, and we'll deal with the class action when it happens. And again, people would probably be shocked how often shit like that happens.
It's scary.
It is scary, man.
It is scary.
That's why, like, you know, again, as much as I'm a fan of free market enterprise, like, you do need some regulations and some laws, man.
You need regulations.
People can be fucking evil.
Fuck yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, you need regulations, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the government getting involved in all kinds of shit, but
they need to be involved on some level. I don't know. Level, yeah. That's why we have to. It's a continuing discussion.
It's ever evolving.
Yeah. We can't. It's not one's right, one side's right, or the other side. So need them both.
Yeah, I came across that story, and I was like, fuck, like, you know, because I've always, you know, obviously we talk about it on here all the time. Like, nutrition to me is really important, but for a long time, like, I didn't really give a fuck about, like, what toothpaste or lotion or deodorant I was using. I didn't think about it, but
it's what you put in your body.
Yeah,
like,
but,
what you put
man,
on.
like, your skin is a big fucking organ.
It's biggest.
It's biggest, dude.
Yeah.
And what you're putting on it is getting in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like, excuse me, I've made that shift. You know, I've switched over to, like, the natural hippie deodorants and
me too.
Try to get the clean soaps.
Yeah, I really like that. What is it? Absolute brand. I forget. They do like a ghee laundry soap that is real good. But yeah, they've got. It's made by the same company that makes Onnit's deodorant, but it's not on it, so it doesn't cost
quite so much.
Quite so much,
dude. I've been on it's been like a 8-month fucking long experiment to trying to find like a good natural deodorant.
Yeah. Because
it's a pain in the ass to find one that works, and I finally found one that I wouldn't smell like a foot by the end of the day. But dude, like they had like an oil base.
Yeah.
So it would stain all your fucking shirts. You know, because they had like coconut oil or whatever fucking oils in it. And like if it was still a little, your deodorant was still a little bit damp, and you put your t-shirt on, and then your t-shirt would all get, you know how you get like an oil stain, like if you're cooking or something, you get, you know, coconut oil on your shirt, like you get a wet spot, and that wet spot doesn't come out. So I had all these fucking t-shirts with, you know, I'd wash them and they'd come out of the washer and dryer with these big fucking oil stains in the armpits.
That's a fucking big problem.
I was like, God damn it! Like, so then I finally found another deodorant that wasn't the, you know.
Did you try the On It one?
I did.
Yeah.
Didn't fucking work for me, man.
Yeah.
No. I found this one called Scully's.
Yeah.
They're made in New York again, so it's made in America. And it's only got like 3 ingredients in it.
Yeah.
Works pretty good. I mean, you end up still smelling a little bit like a hippie. At least I'm not smelling like patchouli oil.
Right. Yeah. That's not what you want. No.
Not smelling like patchouli and wearing my Grateful Dead shirt. But.
Yeah. I kept running. I'd find ones that I liked, but they would have some like texture, like some like I don't know. I forget what specifically was in it, but it would like irritate my fucking armpit. And so like you said, man, it's funny. You'd think it would be
it's not simple, dude.
Simple, but it's not easy to find like a good natural deodorant that like works well and doesn't.
I like that Scully. It's a spray. Yeah. It's a spray on.
Okay.
It's just a spray. Dude, like there's like alcohol and like 2 or 3 other ingredients, and like that is it.
Yeah.
Fucking works good, man.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
That's been like, I know it's so
Tell
exciting.
Scully's the Grumpy Guy sent you.
Yeah. We're not sponsored yet, but hopefully maybe somebody will get the word to them and I'll get some free deodorant.
There you go.
That'd be fucking killer. But that's been like an 8-month adventure.
Yeah.
Ruining t-shirts, fucking trying this brand. Like, god damn it.
Dude, same thing with like toothpaste, man. Yep. People don't realize how much gnarly shits and do like Crest and Aquafresh and all that stuff that we used to use as kids. It's like, man, that stuff has got some gnarly stuff
shit
in it, man. Like fluoride itself it's a poison. Like there's a reason that if you eat toothpaste, you gotta call poison control. You know what I mean? Like it's interesting that again, it's just what we're brought up like, soap. No big deal. Deodorant. Oh, aluminum shit in your deodorant's fine going into your skin.
Why is that in the deodorant? Why do I need aluminum?
Well, I mean, like you said, it's been an 8-month adventure trying to find something that can do that job. Yeah. You know what I mean? So.
Well, on that note too. Again, I kind of geeked out on this. I hope everybody's not getting so bored listening to this. But so a deodorant is good because if you don't want to smell like a foot by the end of the day, that's a plus.
Yeah.
And you're out there working hard. And you don't need an antiperspirant.
Right.
Like, you're supposed to sweat.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know where we ever shifted as a society. Like, why do they even try to sell us antiperspirants? I can understand us not wanting to stink, but you gotta sweat. It's a natural fucking function.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think that it's, man, people don't like to, have the armpit sweats going on and have to raise their arm at a board meeting and point to the fiscal returns for the third quarter. And everyone's staring at this giant armpit sweat stain like, Jesus, Larry's fucking really hot right now or stressed out, man. Like, third quarter returns weren't as good as we were expecting here.
You present your TPS reports. And
you can always tell if it's good news or bad news by Larry's fucking sweat pit stains before the meeting. So I don't know. I would just say that that's probably.
I guess I can see that. I mean, being that I don't have an inside job, my job's pretty physical.
Yeah.
I show up to deliver something.
And your guys' uniforms, man, are dark
They're
anyways.
Dark.
Like I mean, I'm sure that's not a mistake.
They're dark, and I always wear like an undershirt because I sweat. And I'm out there working my ass off every day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm earning that fucking paycheck, and so I'm sweating sometimes.
Yeah.
And so, but I'll wear an undershirt so that way it doesn't quite get through to the other shirt.
Right. Yeah.
Just so you don't look like such a. But people expect it, like, oh, this dude's busting his ass. Oh, yeah, I just seen him sprinting that fucking that pallet. He was just
up that hill.
Just look at this fucking.
How is he not sweating more? So yeah, no, I agree with you though. The antiperspirant versus anti-deodorant thing is, I think
it's weird.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah, I never even thought about it until I started trying to find a natural one.
No,
I never even thought about it, and then I never even paid attention to what I bought. I just bought one that smelled good. I buy the Old Spice. Oh, I like the smell of this.
Yeah.
So I buy that one, and I'm like, what? So then I started thinking about, okay, well, antiperspirant. I need to fucking sweat. That's stupid. So it just started. It was a whole process.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Antiperspirants don't even really work. I mean, they show it in the goddamn commercials. And it never worked for me. It's a fucking degree. I'd sweat like a motherfucker still.
Fucking degree.
Yeah, man. They'd be like, oh, the hotter you get, the more you sweat, the better it works. And I'd be like, I must have overloaded that shit because I still sweat. So a lot of it's marketing fucking hype. I guess if you're sitting in an air-conditioned office all day, because, again, that was never really one of my gigs. I guess I did have an office job at ISSA.
That's when you got fired.
That's when I got fired
for making the sexual harassment comment.
Anti-gay comment that was not really, but yeah. So I guess I didn't really sweat too much at that job, but yeah, when you're outside doing construction or just fucking worked in a smoothie shop, it's dude, you're running around blending smoothies. Sweating like a motherfucker.
Blending smoothies.
Hell yeah, dude.
I can see you working in a smoothie
Blenders
shop.
in the grass in Santa Barbara, man.
I can see that.
That was, yeah. I was good at it.
That's good. I was the best fucking smoothie maker there was.
Goddamn right I was. I don't know. I don't do shit half-ass. I actually talked them into creating a day manager position for me. Because I was like, look, you guys got to pay me more because I'm better than this, but I ain't working nights. So it was, it worked out. Worked out all right. And there was a while though too where I was a delivery dude. We'd have a bike and there was a trailer that he had made up so you could put smoothies. We had a system for stacking them in there so that they wouldn't like tilt over, and I could ride smoothies around and go deliver them to offices. So that was one of my side adventures.
Speaking of tipping over, dude, I almost squished a fucking tourist. I had this pallet full of ski boots.
Where at?
Up in Mountain Village in
Oh, man, okay. I was going to say, man, it had to be... We say squish a tourist, man. Those fuckers, those things, tourists wander around like with reckless abandon up there.
They do. And I had this pallet. It weighed 750 pounds. And it was stacked pretty high with fucking boxes, man. And I had it on the pallet jacked up. And I had to fucking sprint this thing up this hill. Because if I lost momentum, dude, it was going to take a motherfucker to get it going again. I mean, and where I was at, it's not like it was just sidewalk. It was all brick.
Yeah.
You know, up in Mountain Village. So it's not like it's even ground you're pulling it over. So I had the pallet jack kind of high. So it's a little wobbly. And I got it up to the top of the hill. And I had a little downgrade before I had another hill. And so I was like, well, I'm going to use this momentum. And I'm just fucking hauling ass. This thing's fucking 750 pounds, so it's getting some gravity going.
Yeah.
Well, I fucking wasn't paying attention. And I went over like a little manhole sewer thing. And it started fucking wobbling. And I just happened to be going... This lady looked like she was pretty rich. You just kind of get that assumption.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be going by her at the same time. And this thing's wobbling and it's fucking going, dude. I saved it. But it was going right towards her. She turned and saw it, and her eyes just got as big as saucers, and I saved it, and I stopped it. Like, I dropped the pallet jack and stopped the thing from tipping over, and I just looked at her, and she gave me the dirtiest fucking look. Like, she was so upset. I just looked at her, started laughing. I was like, that was close, and fucking
yes.
Going. Oh, but she was so pissed, dude. Like, she was trying to, like, burn a hole in my soul with this fucking look she gave me.
Oh.
And I just laughed at her. I was just fucking chuckling.
You saved her life? Granted it was a situation that you created.
I put it in danger also.
But you saved her life. That's funny.
The look she gave me fucking made my day, dude. I laughed so hard.
You probably scared the shit out of her, and she was so angry that she got scared.
I could definitely. I mean, she may have shit her pants.
Yeah,
like, she might have had to go back to her hotel room and fucking change. But it was good.
Yeah, those rich people don't get a lot of that in their lives.
No,
so
that's kind of. I thought I was doing her a favor.
Usually they pay for that kind of thrill.
I was hoping for a tip.
Yeah, something, man.
Nothing. Just a dirty ass look.
Gratitude.
Dirty ass look, and she probably wouldn't post it on Facebook about some crazy fucking delivery guy. Some crazy.
That's right. Got like fucking a bunch of sympathy from her friends. Like, OMG.
Oh, I've seen those assholes before. They're fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Anyways.
I know. I hate that shit. I rarely. So I have the feed turned off on Facebook. I know you've like shut down.
I haven't been on Facebook. I don't know how many.
And I still like every once in a while like I'll be on my phone and I can pull it up on the internet. And it's so many steps that I just rarely ever do it. But I'll just every once in a while I'll just be bored and like let's see what the fuck's being posted. And it never disappoints to disappoint. That I just don't understand 3/4 of the shit that people are posting. It is just fishing for sympathy or recognition or validation, yep. And it's so like overt. Like it's like you were doing. There's no other purpose behind this post other than just fishing to get people to like and comment on it, to like you said, like validate your feelings or whatever or. Yeah, dude. It's
gross.
It's kind of gross, man.
It's fucking gross.
It is really gross.
When you really, that's why I haven't been on there, man. Like, literally, like it's been months, and dude, my life is better for it.
Yeah.
You know, like it really is. When you step away from it, and then you'll go back and look at it, like It is overtly people looking for validations, recognition, whatever the fucking words you want to put on it.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation.
The majority
sympathy,
of it is, man.
Sympathy, whatever. Yeah. That's really a lot of what it is.
Yeah.
Like, what? And that's the normal thing. Everybody fucking does it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like, the decisions you make shape how you see the world. Like, I don't see the world in a way where me putting those things out to the public or for there's no other reason to do it. You know what I mean? Like, the way that I'm like, God, that is just, it's so ridiculous. Why would you do that? But most people don't see the world that way. But, man, back in the day, you have friends like that, and no one would want to hang out with them. They were the drama queens, the kings.
Or the one-uppers.
The one-uppers, yes, the one-uppers. Whatever you've done, they've done too, just a little bit better.
A little bit. And that's what a lot of that shit is.
Yes.
They're just fucking one-upping.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like these people didn't exist. It's just now, Facebook and shit's giving them this outlet that they didn't have. And again, talk about it again, there's people on that edge, man. Like, they may tilt one way or the other depending upon what the societal norm is. And I think that there's a lot of people who are acting out what they see as a societal norm, which is, using these mediums to become that person and complain and bitch and moan or one up or, these annoying personality traits that, back in the day, we'd all just roll our eyes and be like, oh, man, that's just fucking Bob, man, or are we going to invite that guy to this thing? Like, now you can't uninvite, or I guess you can unlike them on Facebook, but it's, I don't know, it's funny, because Facebook did that big change, right? Because they got called to the carpet by Congress to, I don't even know what the fuck for exactly. And they're, they had those commercials where they're like, oh, we got away from what Facebook was there for, which was connecting people, and and blah, blah, blah. And so now they've changed their algorithms. That's this big thing in the marketing world now, because it has like fucked a lot of people. It's like back in the old days when Google would change their algorithm, and people who had, meticulously gotten themselves to the top of the rankings for a search term would wake up the next morning and find out that they were like on page 5, and it would and because Google had changed their algorithm for the search shit. And basically that's what Facebook has done, because all the shit that shows up in your feed is based on an algorithm that they created. And so they changed the algorithm to include less like business posts and less ads and more shit from people, which was supposed to make it like better. But I gotta be honest with you, like, to me it's made it more boring and worse, because like half the time the reason I'd want to go there is because I would kind of want to see like, well, what is, what are people advertising, like what are businesses do? Because and now it's just like, oh man, my boss fucking, really made me mad today at work, and I don't know what to do about it, blah, blah, blah. And everybody, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh my God, this is worse. I'd rather see the ridiculous ad, because it's kind of fucking entertaining in a less sad way to me. But anyways, you're not on there, so. No,
that's the solution. You just don't get on there.
I know.
Simple as that, man. Well, because it's a trap.
It is.
It's so easy just to get sucked into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know myself, and so I just fucking.
Oh no! I'm
delete the account and just stay the fuck off of it, man. Yeah. Just because I don't have enough time to do the shit to better myself, let alone have that fluff. Like, dude, if I got spare time to where I don't want to read or like and I want to just check out, I'd rather dictate what's getting forced into my fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd rather watch a rerun of Seinfeld. I'm choosing to watch some ridiculous shit and just unplug and relax.
Yeah.
Or, watch something on YouTube. Watch a fucking salmonella video or something. But like, I get to choose when I want to take that in and what I want to take in. Yeah. Instead of just, let's see.
Let's let Facebook's algorithm.
It's just like the old thing, like when you were bored at home and you had cable TV and you didn't have anything to watch. Just channel surfing. Just click. click. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the new channel surfing, just scrolling on your phone.
Yeah.
It's really the same thing.
Well, and that's addictive. That's one of those mental hooks, like the little dopamine hits of like, oh man, I wonder if I just scroll down a little bit more, if there'll be a little bit more, if there'll be an interesting story. Okay, I've been here for 15 minutes and everything sucks, but maybe the story, maybe the cool thing is just one more scroll down, and yeah,
it's a trap.
It is a trap for sure, but it's dude, I don't get it, man. I don't get why you would put your fucking public business. Personal business out in the public like that. It blows my fucking mind.
Dude, well, I mean, it plays right on our fucking ego, man. Like, we like to feel important, recognized, appreciated, all these things. Like, we have these needs. We need them physically, mentally, emotionally. And it fits that. It fills it. And unless you recognize it, man. Like, I know, dude, like it's like an emotional intelligence. Like I know I'm hard on myself. Like, I know I'm not a real dummy, but I know like my emotional intelligence is pretty fucking low. Like, I understand this about myself. I understand like three feelings, like anger, happiness, and sadness. And above and beyond that, like, squash it all. You're being a fucking pussy bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's not healthy, but dude, that we all have them. And the social media plays on that shit. And and if you don't recognize it, man, you're just getting fucking strung along, man.
Yeah.
You're just...
I know, it's weird, man. It's weird. It has such great potential. I'm always frustrated when I go to, I decide to like try to look around for something on the internet, or because it's so hard to filter through all the noise and find good stuff. And I just feel like this medium is being just wasted on so many levels, because, it is still great. I still catch a video every once in a while on some jiu-jitsu move, and I'll be like, oh, there's a little technique or something. And, so there's definitely value. And that's why I go back, because there have been times when I have found things or seen things that have been valuable, but it's just so frustrating, because 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100,
the valuable video is usually just buried underneath piles and piles of fucking crap.
Yeah.
And it just, you spend so much wasted time trying to find that value.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
It is frustrating. That's why I think like the email, I still use that as my if I find something that I'm interested in, hopefully to have some sort of like email update, email newsletter thing, and sign up for that, because then they're sending, when these specific people are coming out with something, they let me know, and they're letting me know in a way where I can check out, I can get a preliminary idea of like, is this something I want to check out or not, on my own terms, because it's in my email, and
it's something you subscribe to.
Yeah, so I'm subscribed to, and I don't even have to go to their website. Now, if it interests me and I'm like, oh, okay, that looks cool, and then I'll click on the link, and then I go to the website and I'll see the video, as opposed to just scrolling through the internet, like having just a routine, like, okay, I go to this website and see what they post, and I go to this website and I go to this website, and it's just, dude, you waste so much fucking time that way. I know there's like newsfeed things and stuff too that kind of do something similar. You can sign up to like, I think like Google has some feature where they'll email you like the headlines from like specific sites. So, but again, it goes back to email. I think that using your email intelligently, and again, this is one of those things a lot of people don't. Like, dude, I'll see people and their fucking emails in their inbox has got like
1,500 things.
God damn it, yeah, dude. Like hundreds and hundreds of unopened emails. And then there's just, I'm like, that's not using your email intelligently.
No, yeah, I use it the way you're talking about. Like, I only subscribe to, and like, if I come across somebody that's got interesting information or something, like, I'll subscribe to them. Then they send you the weekly or monthly newsletter. And then after a couple months, like, if I'm not interested and I find myself not opening them, dude, you can just hit the unsubscribe button, man. Yeah. And you're out of it. And you're not getting force-fed that bullshit. And so you can really distill it down to the shit you're interested in when they come out with a new product or a new video or a new technique or whatever.
Yeah.
It's you curated what you get to see.
Yeah.
That's so much more, like, time is such a valuable resource.
Right.
And we just fucking piss it away, man.
We just let other people,
other people just
have it.
Have it.
Yeah.
You can always find a way to make more money. Time. Dude, as we're talking right now, just slipping the fuck away, man.
Oh, yeah.
Your life is ending 1 minute at a time, man.
1 minute at a time.
Whether you like it or not, dude. Yeah, I mean, we fight off Father Time the best we can, but in the end, you're going to lose that fight, man. Every one of us.
Every one of us.
So,
yeah.
It's important to what you fucking let in your eyeballs.
It is. It's fucking super important in your brain. So.
Speaking of that, so we were talking about before we started recording that new jiu-jitsu team format. Yeah. The Quintet.
The Quintet.
Sakuraba's grappling organization out of Japan.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. I honestly, I've only watched like a match or two. I just re-upped my Fight Pass like today because I wanted to check this thing out.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. Couple interesting rules like no heel hooks.
No heel hooks.
No closed guard.
No closed guard.
But you can do rubber guard.
Yeah.
And matches are 10 minutes long, sub only, 5-man teams. And so, like, I'm not exactly sure. I think, like, if you and I are the first round and we don't submit each other, it's just a draw.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the last members of the team, if they've won even amount of matches or something, then I think there's a decision. I'm not exactly sure how that works. How they pick a winning team. I haven't got that far into it. But it's interesting though, dude. I'm excited to kind of watch some matches. Yeah,
it's a it's a long, because you got how many teams? 4 teams?
I think they've only had 2 events. I think they just had their second event like this past week.
Yeah.
And I think they got 4 teams in each event.
Yeah, something like that.
There's a lot of fucking matches.
There's a lot of matches, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
I
gotta sort it out.
I'd have to look into it more. I'm the same way. Like I've seen some peripheral stuff on it, and like we were talking about, like I saw no heel hooks and no closed guard, and the fucking 10th Planet team was entered, and I'm like, man, this looks like a bit of a ringer. Like the rules are kind of set up for to favor their style. You can't use closed guard, but you can use rubber guard, which is weird, man. You and I were talking like, dude, closed guard is like, it's such a elemental part of jiu-jitsu. I could see not wanting people to stall. So you place maybe a time limit, hey, you can only keep your legs closed and close guard for 15 seconds.
But you got to be active.
Right.
If you're going to close your legs and close guard, you got to be fucking coming at them.
Right, yeah.
Like today when you and I, the last round we went, like I ended up in your closed guard, and you didn't give me a second to fucking breathe.
No, man.
Dude, you were fucking attacking chokes, arms, posture, and just the chokes, arms, posture, like, god damn it. Like,
yeah.
But that if you have that pace,
you're using
it and let it run.
Yeah.
But if you're getting close guard to like get your breath back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, I mean, even just having some sort of time limit on it would, at least, instead of eliminating it completely. But yeah, because I mean, dude,
it's such an integral part for jiu-jitsu, man.
It is. I don't know how. I guess you could. I don't know.
I'm interested though. I'm intrigued. Like literally, I re-upped Fight Pass today just so I could watch that.
Well, they got the last EBI.
They got the EBI on there, and they got the Polaris on there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good jiu-jitsu on there.
Yeah. So
I'm glad I re-upped. I'm gonna watch the shit out of some jiu-jitsu matches for the next month.
Yeah, let's
just probably cancel.
Yeah. Well, it's just good that they're coming out with more events and stuff.
Fuck yeah! I mean that's I really like the team format. I got to figure out exactly the rules and the point system and how they're winning or losing. Because, I mean, they got the Sambo team, they got a Judo team, they got the Polaris team, they got the 10th Planet guys, they got the Reebok team. Like, it's kind of fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, remember the IFL?
Yeah, I do. They would have like Dallas and the different cities would have
the fight
teams, and they'd have different fighters at each weight.
Yep. Well, see, and on this one, the Quintet, like they even like the 10-minute matches. I was reading some of the rules before we started today. like they're 10-minute matches, but if there's more than a 30-pound difference in in your opponent, then the match goes to 5 minutes.
Which seems weird to me.
Which seems weird.
Seems counter.
Because like if I go against a bigger dude, I'm gonna want to like.
I'm trying to cook him.
Cook him.
Yeah.
I know his gas tank's not gonna be as good as I am, so shortening the match, it's not gonna do the little guy any justice.
Yeah, it seems like it would just play into the bigger dude.
But I don't know if I guess now I said that initially. I thought the same, but now that I'm thinking about it, if it's a shorter duration match, you could increase your intensity because you don't have to go 10 minutes, so you could go extra fast.
But the bigger guy can do that too.
But the whole in theory, you could gas him sooner with a faster pace.
I mean, I guess so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on the individuals.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I thought
it's weird.
I thought the longer one, or they would make him run around the stadium 5 times before the match.
Make the big dude do a bunch of burpees or something first.
Here you go.
Like you got to do 30 burpees.
You got to do 30 burpees and then we'll go.
That would be awesome. Level the playing field a little bit. Get his heart rate just skyrocketed.
2 burpees for every 5 pounds.
That's
or
right.
Something like that.
I don't know how. So I don't even know like when you would end up having to face a bigger opponent. I'm not sure how they lay out who they're going to go against.
It's like a random draw.
Yeah, I don't know. So like I say, it's definitely intriguing enough for me. I want to watch it some more.
I think the team. I'm with you, man. I think the team format is interesting.
Fuck
I would love to see. God, man, like the UFC come up with like a tag team championship, but it's not a tag team, but like a team.
A team.
So like you got 2 guys against, you know what I mean? Like so, yeah, just that, and then like it's the I don't know how you do it because then you could have a draw. Like, as if one guy won, the other guy won, and then they'd have to fight it. I don't know. But it would be interesting, man.
Remember that old fucking karate movie I was a karate dork when I was a kid. Love the movies, too. Remember that movie, Best of the Best?
I remember it, man. It's lost in the fog of time, but I remember it.
But they had a team tournament. There was like 5 guys.
Yeah.
A different guy in each weight class. And that's what it reminds me of, and I think that's really fucking cool.
God,
man.
it would be, man. Like Team USA, Team fucking Russia.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I, for some reason, to me, that's really cool.
Dude, it would be less bullshit than like the fucking like some of the title scenes. Because I saw like Colby Covington had to bow out, and so now he's not champion anymore. But
what happened?
I don't know. He bowed out for some undisclosed reason. So the next match that he was supposed to fight in is another interim championship bout between fucking 2 other dudes.
Jesus
that championship belt is so watered down, like means nothing.
That's what I'm saying. They are at the perfect place right now. The UFC is just to wipe the slate clean. Say, listen, we are instituting new weight classes every fucking 10 pounds. There's no more goddamn champions.
The idea of the belt is ridiculous. Like that's from fucking like boxing and wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we got to have this like this tangible thing that this big giant fucking ridiculous, it looks like a giant cowboy buckle. You know what I mean? It's like you won the fucking state fair rodeo times 10, And it's a symbolic thing.
I don't have a problem with that. I like having a champion. Whether it's a belt or I like Pride when they'd give a big ass fucking trophy.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool. Remember that? I think they might have given a belt too. But anyways,
but they would have like there would be like you were saying, like you were kind of alluding to, like you'd have a Grand Prix.
Yes.
So and
tournament
tournament, and you would crown the champion of that tournament, and then obviously they'd had some weight class champions too, but like that element of the tournament aspect,
and it's easy for people to follow, like for lack of better terms, the storyline.
Yeah,
because right now with the UFC, there's just a fucking never-ending storyline, and you can't keep up. And then it gets watered down because then you got intern champions and blah, blah, blah. Like, God damn it, man.
So, wait a minute. I thought that guy was a champion.
I thought he was a champion.
He got hurt, so he stepped down. So
now he's the intern
champion.
And, it's so fucking convoluted right now. You can't keep it straight. I love MMA as a sport, man. Like, I love watching what those humans are capable of, dude. Like, it's pure, dude. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But it's so watered down and so confusing right now. Like, I can't get behind it, man. They need to wipe the slate clean, dude.
Yeah, like over the course of like 6 months, you'd have like, one pay-per-view would be Team USA versus Team Brazil.
Yeah.
Like Team Ireland versus Team Russia or whatever. So, but yeah, you would have just that. You'd have like one fighter in each weight category representing the country, and that would be the card.
That'd be cool as fuck.
And every month, like that's it, and it's like. Yeah, and then you get down like, okay, this team beat this team, so in the next pay-per-view they advance.
Teams. Yeah.
So it's like and you advance down to the championship, and you have to have like, I don't know if there's an even or odd number of weight classes, but as long as you got like an odd number of weight classes that you're fighting, then there's no come down to the last match of the night. You know what I mean? And
it'd be so cool, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because then you get those. Yeah, like Team Ireland,
Holy
Team USA.
Shit. That would make it so fucking exciting.
So exciting.
Like that last match of the night, if it was even, and it's like, this is for who advances to the next one.
Team Russia versus Team USA.
Yeah, dude.
Do you know how jacked people would get over that?
How people would get... Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sure Dana White listens to us.
Of course.
He listens to Grumpy Guy BJJ.
That's right, along with IBJJF.
Yeah, I'm sure they listen to us.
So you can have that idea, man.
Yeah, we won't even charge you for it. Just give us a shout out. Throw a Grumpy Guy banner on the.
There you go.
On the bottom of the fucking octagon floor or something.
Yeah.
We'd be set.
Yeah. But that's a fucking good idea.
It is a good idea.
Now I'm gonna be bored with regular pay-per-views.
Well, dude, I don't get them most of the time, just because, like you say, there's no goddamn consistent storyline to follow. There's nobody to get behind.
I'm interested in the fights, like if I like fighter A versus fighter B, and that fucking matchup intrigues me, and the storyline is badass, like, oh, and there's a championship belt on the line, that's cool. Like, I don't even give a shit if there's...
No, I like stylistic matchups and the storyline behind it.
Yeah, it just so happens that a lot of the top fighters are champions, So, like, fighter A versus fighter B, like, one of those two is a champion, But, yeah, man, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not... It's an interesting to be able to say it, but yeah, if I don't like the fighter, if they're a boring fighter, I'm not gonna watch him just because he's champion.
Exactly.
Yeah, if he's exciting and he puts on a good fight. I mean, the Diaz brothers have fucking lived off of that, Like they've won some championships, but dude, their reputation's like, dude, they're here to scrap.
Yep.
Like, and you're like, dude, okay, I know if I were a pay-per-view and those two fuckers or one of those two fuckers is on it, like.
I'm probably getting that pay-per-view.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a good matchup. And there's going to be a good storyline. Like, whoever they step in the ring with, there's going to be some heat or, some shit talking, like a good storyline leading up to it. And it's like, but, dude, fucking Team USA.
It's the team. Dude. I don't know what it is, but, like, it's the... And that's what really intrigued me when I saw this. I seen the Quintet get advertised, like, a couple weeks ago. And I hadn't even been paying attention. I was like, oh, what is this? So then, I start Googling it. I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. So then, I was motivated enough this morning. I was like, all right, man, I got to watch some of these. I got to see what this is all about.
Dude, yeah.
But it was because of the team fucking aspect of it.
Yeah, you could do
that. I really had to think about it. I was like, that really drove me to watch it. Like, oh, this is kind of cool, man. This is really fucking cool. There's something there.
Yeah, I think so, man.
There's something there. And the tournaments, like the Grand Prix, like Pride used to do, like, yeah, they need to fix some shit the UFC does.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, not rocket science. What they're doing right now is broken.
Yeah.
It's losing. I think they're on the wrong path. They're losing the purists, the fans that really like it for the sport and the martial arts of it, and they're chasing like the WWE fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the direction they're going. They're going for the fucking masses. But I think they could...
I mean, no.
They could do both.
Like, WrestleMania outsells...
I'm sure it
every
does.
fucking pay-per-view, puts... more butts in the seats.
And I think that's what they're chasing.
Yeah.
But I think they could keep the sport pure by doing like the team thing like that. Because it would fill both voids.
Yeah.
You could get the masses behind it because it's Team USA versus Team Russia or whatever. And then you could get the purists behind it. The people that really love the sport and the athletics behind it.
Yeah. Man, it's always going to be tough whenever you try to take a sport mainstream because there were aspects of it that made it appealing to the early adopters that simply aren't going to transfer over to mainstream consumption. And I agree with you 100%. I think that's a lot of like MMA's kind of, the UFC in particular, like they're in this weird spot where they're trying to figure out like how to make that transition. Because man, again, I told you, I think the Furtadas talk about buy low, sell high. I mean, that is, I don't know if too many people have ever beat their, buying, what did they pay, like $1 million, like less or whatever, and sold it for $4 billion. And I honestly feel like they took MMA as far as you could from a mainstream perspective without changing it in some fundamental way.
Exactly. And I think they saw that.
Yeah.
And they had the opportunity.
And they sold the opportunity.
Yeah. Yep.
That's how they get $4 billion for, is the opportunity. And they're showing like, look how this is growing and look where it's going. And if you project this out, and if you guys can just break through to the mainstream and, make all this money. And that's what they sold it on. So,
but I think they were smart enough to realize that they had, like you said, they maxed it out at its current state.
Yeah.
Like they really did. To get to that next level, there's going to have to be a major shift. And all these goddamn intern titles and, this different shit isn't working.
No.
Isn't fucking working.
No, it's not.
Well,
working.
And that's, I think, because they're falling into the same rut, kind of, as to why boxing's not more popular. Because boxing is confusing in that same aspect too, because there's, for a little different reason, but it's the same principle, is because there's so many goddamn belts.
Yeah, there's so many organizations.
So many organizations. You got the WBC, the BBC, blah, 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 blah. And so
back in the day, you had the three.
Yeah.
You had the three.
And so no one can keep track.
Like,
he's the champion of what?
Yeah. And if you didn't have all three of the belts back in the day, you weren't really a champion.
Right.
You know what
but
I mean?
now there's so many.
Yeah.
And so people can't get behind the storyline. They're like,
yeah.
Who's
the heavyweight champion?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, there's fucking three of them? What does that mean?
And I think it needs to be, not to be an asshole, but like, it needs to be dumbed down a little bit, simplified.
Yeah.
So people can get behind it and like, that's... when someone wants to watch something for entertainment purposes, they don't want to have to put a ton of fucking thought and research into it. They don't want to be... Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just needs to be like, this team versus this team, or this is the champion of this versus this. Like,
yeah.
Something needs to happen. But
yeah. I think the team
thing, I think it'd be fun as shit, dude.
We'll have to...
I don't know... I can't remember what was the downfall of the IFL. Why didn't it ever take off? I think they lost funding or something. They just fucking shut the doors.
Man, it gets hard in any industry when you've got a fucking 800-pound gorilla in the room and everyone else is just like, fighting for the scraps. And I mean, that is what the situation is in the MMA world today. The UFC, they are that 800-pound gorilla. I mean, they get the biggest majority of the money coming into that sport, and you're fighting for scraps. And, you had Bellator, and that's the problem, is that I don't think there's enough scraps for there to be multiple healthy organizations other than the UFC. You know what I mean? Because you'll see some pop up, but it's like they can't sustain themselves, and so somebody's got to go. So that's how you end up like where we are now, where it's like UFC and Bellator, and so they're trying now. They're trying to get the what's the one with the $1 million fight purse, the big tournament. Yeah, man. You're looking at me like you have no clue.
I have no clue, dude.
Yeah, no.
Because the only names I can think of, obviously the UFC, Bellator, Invicta.
Invicta's, they're kind of like a minor league. And I mean, but because like Bellator, the difference between Invicta and Bellator is like Bellator is not like, to them, they are not a farm system for UFC. They're trying to do their own thing. A competition for UFC, whereas like a lot of these other ones, like Invicta,
feeder systems,
FC or what, they're like, hey man, we're a farm system for the next level, and so I think that's a different thing. Like there are multiple organizations like that that are kind of farm systems for the next level, but at that next level, you got the UFC, and then you've got Bellator. But yeah, this new one, man, I forget. It's being like NBC or somebody.
It's not Glory, is it?
It's not Glory. It's a tournament, a year-long tournament, and there's $1 million in prize money up for grabs. And yeah, it's a new MMA league that God, I forget who. Yeah, there's a couple like BJJ guys who are fighting.
Is it on Fight Pass?
I don't know if it's. I don't think it's on Fight Pass. Because
they're trying to compete
with the UFC. Yeah. So, but again, like I think so. Now you've got another kind of up and coming. Like, hey, we're trying to do this. I'll be interested to see if they stick around or if it turns into another like
maybe
2-3 year flash in the pan and.
Maybe they're thinking like we are, like that tournament format. They're trying to get people bought into that storyline.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a year-long tournament, and then at the end, you're...
And we talked about that before. Yeah. That would be a cool thing to fucking watch.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the move.
Yeah.
We'll see if it takes off.
I'm surprised that hasn't come across your radar.
Dude, like, I am so...
Random shit. So you know that Johnson & Johnson got sued for $4 billion for asbestos and baby powder. And I'm just saying, like, so things obviously just come across your radar from time to time.
Podcast. It's all the podcast.
All right, so I was just saying I'm a little surprised.
I'm sure it has.
I think it has.
It hasn't stuck.
Yeah.
I've been trying to learn Portuguese lately.
Oh.
So that I spend like an hour a day fucking studying and learning Portuguese.
Banging it out, huh?
Yeah, that's my new goal.
God, that's like, it's so, learning a new language in a place where they don't speak the language, and like, to me, seems really tough.
It's something that's a challenge. I want to do it.
Yeah.
Being that we had Brazilian Nick at our school, I'm always coming to him and talking to, asking him questions, and he's helping me and learning. I got some audio books that I just listen and fucking learn while I'm at work. Listen and learn, like literally like an hour a day, if not more. And there's this secretary at work that's Brazilian, and so she helps me. So it's funny, like, dude, like, it's a really interesting challenge to me, and it's not too dissimilar from Spanish. And I know a little bit of Spanish. Like, I can go to Spanish-speaking countries and get by. I wouldn't even come close to saying I'm fluent, but I can get by.
Yeah.
I can ask the basics of like where the bathroom's at, how much does it cost. Like order food. Like I can do some simple shit in Spanish. Portuguese isn't that much different.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just think, as Americans, most of us only speak one language. And we're really the only country like that. Like any other country, almost everybody speaks two languages. They speak their native language and they speak fucking English. And we're just arrogant, dude. We just like, fuck it, everybody speaks our language. We don't have to learn shit. And so I'm trying to fucking fix that, man. I'm always working out physically, so I got to expand my brain.
Yeah.
So new language, like, it's a good challenge for me. Man.
No, I think there's nothing wrong, man. Be commended for
I'm not sure. How did I start ranting about that? Oh, because I listen to podcasts. I listen to how to fucking speak Portuguese. And so whatever comes across my news feed and these podcasts, and most of the podcasts I listen to are like health and nutrition, and they'll talk like we do, like we say we're a jiu-jitsu podcast, but we spend fucking 80% of our time talking about other shit. That's how a lot of podcasts are.
Yeah.
It'll say they're a health and nutrition podcast, and you might get some health and nutrition in there, but that's probably how I came across the Johnson & Johnson thing, man.
Yeah, well,
I get random tidbits.
Whatever it is. Yeah, so there's a new MMA league out there.
I'm sure I've heard of it. Just
we'll
hasn't stuck.
Yeah, but anyways, I agree. I think that the team format is the future.
I think that's the way to go,
Let's
man.
Fucking do it.
I would like to see it. I'm hopeful that it's the future. I don't know if anybody will adopt it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I would like to. Like, I want to watch this Sakuraba thing. But that would be cool to be a part of something like that. Like a team grappling tournament, man. That'd be fucking cool as shit.
Yeah. Like a track meet, man. You got part of the team. It comes, everybody's contributing points and shit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I guess you do that at tournaments. You got like your team placings and stuff. So, you're getting points for.
Yeah, but it's different, though.
It is different.
It's different. It's not strictly focused on the team.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because it's not. It's
just kind of like
This is like a more of a one-on-one type situation.
Yeah.
So it'd be more of a fight to win pro.
Yeah, as
opposed to a fight to win tournament.
That'd be cool as shit if Seth started doing something like that. The fight to win pro, like a team, like 5-man fucking teams. Like here you go. That'd be cool, man. That'd be way more fun to go watch than fucking blue belts up there. Fucking 8-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Come on, we gotta solve, you know.
I know. I understand what he's doing. We've talked about it before. I totally understand.
Good experience for the kids.
It's good experience, but I don't want to go watch it. I'd rather watch a team event.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
You never know, man.
Never know.
Maybe Seth will do something like that.
Yeah.
He's a pretty adventurous, ballsy dude.
He is. He is, man.
Smart dude.
I gotta hand it to him.
Fuck yeah, man. He's killing it out there. All the tournaments and pro matches he puts on and shit.
Yep.
Dude's fucking hustling.
Yeah, he cares and it shows. So I think people can tell. He's like the opposite of the IBJJF. Like he runs the fucking tournaments and he's out there like reffing shit,
doing matches. That dude will have like 10 matches in a day as he's running the fucking tournament.
Right, yeah.
And then so you'll have some competitor pissed off about something. He'll go over there in his fucking rash guard like after the end of his match, fucking sweating and be like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah. So great. But he's in it, man. He's like, dude. Yeah, so you know, it's not a theory, you know, to him.
He knows what it's like to be the competitor. He knows what it's like to be the ref. He knows what it's like to be the fucking promoter.
Yeah. Yep. Does a good job with it. So, well, cool, man. All right.
That was most of my notes.
Yeah.
I had something else, but I don't want to fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
Unless it segues into it.
Okay.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, dude. I had a few interesting thoughts. So I'm reading the Michael Pollan book, The Changing Your Mind Through Psychedelics.
Oh, the new one.
The new one. Yeah, wow. The new one. So, yeah, so far there's nothing like, God, it's so good to like get through read a book for a few hours and look down and I've made it through like 33% of the way instead of like 2%. Goddamn Plutarch book was fucking with my head, man. But, so yeah, like I'm probably about like a third of the way through it. But yeah, it's a good book. I think you'd find it interesting. Michael's got a good writing style, and but yeah, it's really interesting the history, how before the societal stigma got attached to psychedelics, like how much they were used and what the future looked like for them in like psychology and like helping people overcome addiction and depression and all of these things. Like there was so much research going on and such great results and so many doctors and stuff that were into it. And yeah, the press,
the government fucked us up. The Sweeping Psychedelic Act in like what, the mid-60s?
Yeah.
You know, when they were trying to come down on all the hippies fucking and the protesters hippies, and like the Black Panthers and shit.
Yeah.
And they knew they all liked to smoke weed and take psychedelics.
Yeah.
So like, oh, this is our end. We can just make everything illegal. And we can't get them for protesting because that's their right.
Yeah.
But we can go in and arrest the fuck out of them because they got dope on them.
Yeah, no, that's
what fucked us, man.
That was the strategy, and it was a lot of it was too like how the media was portraying stuff. Like the media had a big role. I mean, dude, in all fucking prohibition, right? Like if the media decides like this is bad, and we're going to support that message, dude, good luck to that thing.
Yep.
I mean, so it was, it was really just interesting, and it made me wonder too. I couldn't help. I had ask Kiele, because like me and my family, and we don't see the world the same way, and it's one of the reasons that I don't necessarily get along real well. I don't like not get along, but like me and my sister and my mom, we're not like super close. And I wonder, I don't think they've ever done psychedelics, and
most people haven't.
I know, and that was a really interesting kind of thought when I was reading through the book, and just how he was talking about how many people have like transformative experiences from these things, and how many people rated their psychedelic experience either on LSD or mushrooms or whatever as like one of the most like profound experiences of their lives. And I'm just looking back, and again, like I was doing it, we've kind of joked around about your alleged, LSD use or abuse, whatever you want to call it.
It was more of, it went into the abuse
for sure
realm of things.
Right, and so again, I was definitely using it, mushrooms and LSD and stuff as more recreational. And I can't say that I've ever had what they would call like a full-on like mystical experience where your complete sense of yourself dissolves, or at least again that's how they're explaining it in the book, because the words, you know, these things are tough. But even that, man, just thinking back, you know, I remember, you know, fucking talking to some trees, and I remember, you know, like I think I might have mentioned, like, you know, tripping out and deciding I could climb up a fucking rock wall that was like, you know, 20 feet high, and getting about 3/4 of the way up and realizing like this is not a smart idea. and really having to, like, you know, but that was the moment where it was weird. Like they say you never feel more alive than when you're close to dying. And like that fucking thought, it was so crazy, like how real like that thought was. Like it was like, oh, now I know what they mean. Like, cause it was like, feel fucking alive in this fucking crazy way that I've never felt before. Cause I've got myself in this situation, I got to get out. And it wasn't, you know, it was one of those like that 80%, right? Where I was like right on that edge of like, okay, I could fuck up, but it wasn't like really dangerous. So I could, you know, I wasn't like panicking out, but it was a really interesting experience that, but just thinking back, and it's like, just, I take them for granted. And I'm sure you probably just had some experiences too that you think, I just kind of take them for granted. And then you realize like, dude, like that kind of changed how I look at things, and it kind of changed how I see things. And I'm interacting with a world where a lot of people haven't experienced that and seen that. Like that's one of the reasons, like, you know, my dad being an ex-preacher and you know, me growing up in the church, and dude, there was a point where like at this point, like Christians like are some of the hardest people for me to relate to. Like church is one of the weirdest places for me to be around, because man, you talk about a place where you can bet probably 9 out of 10, 99 out of 100 people have not done any sort of psychedelic or had any sort of experience like that. And those that had probably had some sort of like what they interpreted as a bad experience that led them in the other way. Like, and so now that they're like, oh, that was, you know, horrible, and that experience actually shaped my worldview in this opposite way. It's like, dude, I can't relate to those people. And yeah, I don't know, man. It was just a weird thought when it dawned on me when I'm reading that. Like, oh yeah, like people, there's a lot of people that need those experiences that have just never had them because our society's just fucking
shunned it.
Yeah,
it's so like it's got the stigma of being like poison.
Yeah,
you know, like you're poisoning your brain. It's a drug. And I mean, used incorrectly, yes. Like, I don't believe any of those things are meant to be party drugs. Like, you know, mushrooms or acid. I mean, when you're a kid, that's kind of how you end up using them. You know, but as an adult, allegedly, maybe I've taken some mushrooms and had like, and like gone deep. You know, like gone super fucking deep. And yeah, you see the world different. Like you can't help it.
Yeah.
And then you realize like, oh, this is what the Vikings were fucking doing when they were eating these things. You know, all these ancient cultures when they were going on these spirit quests. You know, eating peyote or whatever the fuck it is. Like, you should like, man. Once you like check out of this reality and you see, I guess so to speak, like another reality, and then you come back to this one. Like, it shapes it.
It changes your perspective.
It fucking changes it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you know, doing jiu-jitsu for the first time, and you walk away with a completely different view of the world. Like, oh, I thought I was a badass. Like, yeah, I was pretty secure in what I thought my place was in the world. And you walk away from that first day going like, holy shit. Like, my whole worldview has been shattered.
And I guess that is a perfect analogy. Hey, eating a big dose of mushrooms is like doing jiu-jitsu on your brain. It's like your first day in class and going with a pissed off purple belt. You know what I mean? Because like generally your first day of class, you show up and train with like a black belt. They're gonna be nice to you, you know, unless you're getting rowdy and they're simming you down. But if you just get some pissed off, aggressive fucking purple belt,
you get dragged in really deep, and you're like, oh my god,
they're just gonna fuck your world up. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of what like a big healthy dose of fucking mushrooms is like.
Yeah, and again, like some people, it all comes down to that ego, man. That fucking poop in the ice cream. Like, how do you deal with that? And whether you're like curious and like, okay, well, that shows me that my fucking place in the universe is different than I thought. I'm a lot smaller than I thought I was. Or you fucking freak out and try to double down.
Double it down.
Yeah, and then demonize it, right? Like, oh, that was a bad experience, and you know, people shouldn't have access to that shit because I had a bad experience on it. And it's like, man, it's interesting, man. It is a universal thing among societies to seek substances that alter consciousness. And again, from an evolutionary standpoint, it has to and had to have served some purpose. Because again, like when you are tripping, you're in a vulnerable state, right? Or if you're, if you've altered your consciousness, a lot of times there are some things that can make you, like caffeine, for example, can alter your consciousness in a way that makes you more alert. But a lot of the psychoactive drugs, a lot of the things that societies have sought out and had a high place in their, I don't know, a level of importance, I guess. Like these things, you were in a vulnerable state when you were on them. That's why like you had shamans and fucking people to help make sure that your physical body was all right while you were doing this other thing. So again, like evolutionarily, like why does that make sense? Why the fuck would our ancestors have put themselves in that spot so often that it actually like changed our genetic code to the point that like we want it, and we're, you know what I mean? So it had to have served some purpose, and so just logically, yeah, like our society's decision to shun those things, fucking makes no sense, man.
Makes no sense.
It's more of our Western society trying, cubicles, fucking the internet, shunning psychoactive drugs, all of these things go against what we were fucking, wired for. And no wonder we're all losing our fucking minds, man. So,
you gotta wonder, I've thought about this before, is maybe the reason they shun, there could be a lot of reasons, but maybe one of the reasons they shun psychoactive drugs like mushrooms is, man, like if you take a healthy dose of those and you have that experience, and then you have that altered view of reality, you realize all the ridiculous bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
And if all of us begin to realize the ridiculous bullshit, we're not just cogs in the machine anymore.
Yeah.
And then the machine breaks. And that's not what the fucking system wants.
No.
We need the cogs in the machine.
Yep. Yeah, that's why the system is trying to figure out how to reintroduce them in a way that they can control.
Yes.
Because there's obviously society's breaking, like mentally, and there's obviously some answers, like things and like degrees of success that, antidepressants and the shit that we're selling people now can't even come close to touching. And so I think that on some level they're like, we got to do something. There's obviously answers here. I think that the sad thing is, though, is a lot of it's being driven by money, because now they see an opportunity to make money by administering these things to a sick society that needs them. And that it's going to be done in a way that they're controlling. And so, but it is what it is, right? It's just like the pot industry. I mean, the pot industry became legalized and has grown like it has because the money's there. I mean, let's face it. If there wasn't as much money as there was behind it, like, the fucking political powers would have shut the shit down a long time ago. And it's the same thing with psychedelics, man. I think that it's cool that they're getting explored again and coming back in, but by the same token, you always got to keep a fucking wary eye on the government and big business and like what exactly their designs on this whole thing are.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things I think about that. Yeah, I mean, if there ends up being a lot of money behind it, it will end up being just like the pot industry. Like, it'll just get undeniable.
Yeah.
You know, it really is what it comes down to.
Yeah, once there's enough tax dollars rolling in, the politicians can look the other way.
Exactly. But I do agree, man, like, psychedelic drugs, I don't even like being like the hippie to call it psychedelic medicine, but like psychedelic drugs, they are a good tool, and if used responsibly and intelligently, I think there's a lot of benefit to it. But you got to be responsible with it. Like, man, I haven't microdosed in quite a few months. Like, my brain has been kind of fragile. Like, it just hasn't been quite in the right spot. So I just stay away from them, man. You got to learn to recognize that. Like, I definitely am not in a healthy enough mind state right now, state of mind, to eat a big dose. Like, it would fucking break me. You know, you got to understand that. And if you've never been close to that breaking point, or like, if you never spend time thinking about that shit or talking about that shit, like, you don't recognize. But like I say, they're a good tool, but they're only one of the pieces, man. Like, I think it falls into society's need to always needing a fucking pill to fix something. Always needing something exogenous to fucking take in to make their lives better. No, man. Like, if you're a fucking fat, lazy lop of shit, not fucking mowing your yard, not exercising, not eating the right food, not taking care of yourself, like not sleeping right, not doing all the things that you should be doing to make your life better, you don't need to be fucking eating weed or eating mushrooms, man. Like, fix all your other shit first, like, because that's gonna make you feel better. Like, if you're having problems mentally, like, doing all your other shit first, then if you need a little additional help, run with it. But see, I think as a whole, society's just fucking lazy, man, and they want a pill.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh yeah, I have this fucking mental problem. I have anxiety. Oh, I need to eat. I need to microdose. No. Maybe it's helpful. But you know what also might be helpful? Go and run some fucking hill sprints.
Yeah.
That'll make you rethink fucking things. It will. Like, join jiu-jitsu. Like, challenge yourself. Then you realize your spot in the universe isn't quite what you thought it was.
Yeah.
Those challenging things, like, push yourself way beyond your comfort zone. Quit seeking fucking comfort all the time, like we've talked about a million times. I think that's a bigger fucking fish to fry, or an easier thing. Nah, it's not easy, but a lower hanging fruit for people to get to than eating some drugs. Does that make sense?
No, for sure.
Yeah. I think they're valuable.
Yeah, I think there's other ways to achieve insights similar to what you can get from psychedelics. Meditation. There's like breathing techniques. And just a fucking hard run, like you said, man.
Yeah.
You're hypoxic. Fucking breathing, wondering if your heart rate's ever gonna come the fuck back down. It's amazing how many interesting thoughts I've had and insights I've had in those. They call it the runner's high. You get those endorphins going, and it's. So there's definitely other ways to alter but that you could argue that's an altered state of consciousness, right? When I'm doing jiu-jitsu, like,
I'm in an altered state of consciousness.
For sure, man. I crave that state of consciousness. Like, it's so funny when I'm not in it. It's so hard for me to. It's like sometimes I'm like, I don't know. I can't, when I'm not doing it, I can't remember all the jiu-jitsu that I know. But when I'm in that state of mind, the jiu-jitsu just flows.
It's there.
It's just there. And they're two distinctly different states of mind. Like, me, before I'm rolling, my mind is not the same. It's really interesting. I've observed it, how unsure of myself I can be. And like, dude, am I going to remember how to do jiu-jitsu or whatever? And then you slap hands, and you start rolling, all of a sudden it's just like, okay, this is a totally different state of mind. So... But it's another way to alter your consciousness. So kind of what you're talking about is like, there's all sorts of ways for you to kind of microdose, altering your consciousness in positive ways that can help you, overall, whether it's, making good decisions on what you're eating as well. Because it's that type 1 fun, right? Like, that's okay. In the moment, this is hard, but that on the other side of it, you're going to feel good. And, so that's... again, just these little victories and stuff. But I will say, with all that, here's my butt. Because I think that the thing that psychedelics can offer some people is because you get stuck in a rut, man. You get stuck in a rut. And I know that theoretically that people can and should be able to get themselves out of that rut on their own. But man, sometimes that rut's like really super deep. And for whatever reason, again, just according to what I'm reading and just kind of the way that they're explaining it, what they're seeing in from the studies that they're doing is that for whatever reason, a psychedelic experience allows people to jump fucking tracks and get going in another direction. They're able to just get out of this rut that they're stuck in. And so it is kind of like a quick jolt to the system that allows this different way of viewing things. Because again, remember, the decisions that they're making are a reflection of how they see the world. And so they literally have to change how they see the world to start making better decisions. And that is possible through meditation, through reading, through just good habits, making checklists. So there are ways to build that momentum that does that. But again, man, for whatever reason, it seems like psychedelics allow people a way to, like, dude, if you're addicted to smoking, it's like, should you be able to quit smoking on your own? Yeah. It's fucking hard. I have to assume, I've never been addicted to smoking, but I have to assume, just seeing all the people and hearing, like, it's fucking hard to quit. So, but it takes a different way of seeing the world for you to quit. It isn't like not getting addicted to nicotine, because you still see the world where cigarettes are attractive. Right? Like, cigarettes have to be unattractive to you. You have to change that. And like, big gulps have to become unattractive to you. Like, and that's the hard thing, is like, people think that it's a matter of denying yourself something that you still find attractive. That's what living a Spartan lifestyle is. If I want to be like Rob, I'm still gonna love big gulps and Big Macs and all this shit. I just have to deny myself that stuff, right? And we're, we understand that's not it, right? That's not it at all. Like, I don't even want that stuff. Like, I don't find those things attractive, so I'm not denying myself something, because I don't even fucking find that stuff attractive. I don't even want it. Somehow people have to figure out how to change that. They have to change how they see the world that allows them to see it in a way where these bad decisions are unattractive and good decisions are attractive. And, again, man, it's that yin and yang. People need to buck up. But, man, once you've been living for 40, 50 years, sometimes those fucking neural grooves and those ruts are so deep. I've said it before, man, I don't know how some people get out of the ruts that they're in. But reading this book is really, like, made me start to think, like, maybe there is something. I don't know. I don't like maybe that is the answer to how you're able to break. Like, if you fucked up and you found yourself getting choked out, how does your brain just tap out and say, I admit I fucked up. I did this the wrong way. I want to look at things differently and start over again. So, I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, man, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, it can definitely be that tool.
But I agree with you that I think that people shouldn't lean on that.
No.
That you should have these you should be making an effort in these other areas, and that may be what you need to help you get over the hump so these other things stick. But I think that's a good point.
Don't make that your first move.
Right.
There's a lot of other steps before you get to there.
I hate my life. Go eat a bunch of mushrooms.
Go eat some mushrooms. I hate my job. I want to fucking be in shape. Let's go eat some mushrooms and find the answer. The answer's not going to be there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other things. Yeah, man, you just gotta start exposing yourself to different things, man. Like the access to information we have. We've talked about it before. Podcasts, articles, books, conversations with people. Like, man, just get in and start trying to learn. Realize that you don't know shit a lot of times.
Yeah.
And, assume that everybody you're talking to can teach you something that you don't already know. They know something you don't. They got a different perspective. And just start, and you have to, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and you got to do those things that are uncomfortable. And that'll start changing your perspective. And then you can start making the little decisions. Even if it's just skipping the big, you're used to having fucking a big gulp every day on the way to work, you know, you're 7 days a week, you're whatever. Skip it one day. That's it, man. Just fucking one day.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it'll turn, I skipped it one day. I can skip it two. Just little things. It doesn't have to be these huge fucking changes all the time.
No, yeah.
Little changes.
Yeah, getting that momentum, man. Yeah. It's funny how
Dude, it's not easy, man. Like it's not fucking easy. Especially there's a lot of little things you can do that are just super uncomfortable. And we all have some things that are uncomfortable for you, maybe super easy for me. And I would look at it and be like, why are you having a hard time with that?
Right, yeah.
But you know, but the roles change the other way. You know, like there's things that are super uncomfortable for me, and a lot of times that's because your ego telling you that it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know.
It's 100%.
That's what it is.
It's like, and that's, you know, again, the disinhibition, the killing, the falling away of the ego that people get on. Because you could even, like, you know, dude, alcohol, marijuana, like, 'cause it doesn't necessarily even have to be, you know, LSD and mushrooms or, you know, hardcore psychedelics. You know, just things that alter your consciousness and just allow you to see things in a little bit different way, you know, it can be valuable. But again, a lot of people end up abusing the shit, so that's the problem. If people had more positive outlets for their energy. So, I mean, I know for me, like when I'm doing a bunch of stuff and I'm busy, I smoke way less weed. You know, and I'm just sitting around, it's like, oh, dude, I'm fucking bored, or, you know, don't have it, whatever. So, and then I notice, so I have to consciously make sure, like, okay, man, you know, all right, what are you doing today? And that's why, like, I'm always busy, man. It's like, fuck, I always wonder, like, why are you so tired? And then I think back, like, oh yeah, doing jiu-jitsu, and you're going paddleboarding, and you're doing disc golf, and you're riding a bike, and you're playing with the kids and stuff. But it's, dude, having like a full life, doing shit you like, doing podcasts with you, like, that's the thing, man. Just find shit you like doing and
try to find a way to do more
of it, man. Yeah, and stuff that you don't like, do less of it. So
there you go.
There's your fucking words of wisdom from Grumpy Guy.
That's right.
But yeah. So, anyways, you might want to put that book on your list.
I think I got it on my list.
Yeah.
I haven't read many of Michael Pollan's books. I listened to that one recently that I talked about a few episodes back, the Eater's Manifesto, I think, or something like that. Case Against Food or some shit. That was good. Good listen.
Yeah.
And I've been, you know, wanting to read more of his stuff, but
yeah, he's got good stuff. I like that Botany of Desire. That's such a good one.
Is it?
Yeah.
He's written a ton of fucking books.
He has written
Jesus
a ton of them,
Christ.
man. Yeah, that Cooked one I got, and but yeah, the Botany of Desire, and especially like the tulip thing about how the tulips almost bankrupted Holland at one point. It's such a crazy story, and yeah, I just love history, man, because so much of it is different than what we assume. You know, like Johnny Appleseed, right? Like Johnny Appleseed was planting apples for people to make cider out of. Like, it wasn't a health food. The apples back, you know, the random apples from random seeds taste like shit. So the only thing you can do with them is turn them into cider. So, you know, this folk hero of the Old West that was going around like sowing apple seeds because, you know, for all the children to eat because they were fucking healthy snacks. Yeah, no, that wasn't it, man. He was going around getting people drunk. So, and he was a folk hero for it. But yeah, it was a good book. A lot of interesting.
Speaking of folk heroes, I want to start learning more about Sandow. Eugene Sandow. I don't know much about his history.
Okay.
I've been reading a little bit about him, you know, just on the internet.
Yeah.
I ordered a biography
about
him. I'm looking forward to getting into that.
Yeah. We get his book too. He's written a couple books.
Yeah, he's written a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And there's one of his, like the original versions or the collector's editions.
Yeah.
The System of Physical Training, I think it's called, or something like that. Dude, those go for like $300 and $400.
Yeah.
They're like published back.
You can get them on the Kindle.
Yeah, you can get like a paperback version of it, like, you know, for $10, or you can get a Kindle version. But like the original ones are collectors, dude.
Yeah,
it was published back in like 1894.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, like I want to get that, but I also just want to kind of like get a biography about him, just to not so much his style of training, but like I just want to learn from what I've read so far, the dude seems like an interesting fucking guy.
He was an interesting guy, yeah. I really got into like those old time strongmen at one point. Like I read a lot, like Arthur Saxon, George Hackenschmidt, and you know, a lot of those. There were a couple other guys that I read their books or just kind of some biographies or whatever on them, and a lot of those guys, like I could be wrong. I don't know if Sandow wrestled. I think he was like mainly just a strong man, like a vaudeville showman and stuff. But he was legit. I mean, the shit that he did was, you know, insane. But a lot of those guys were wrestlers too, and like wrestling. And this is, you know, like fucking 3-hour-long matches kind of thing. Like first dude to get thrown loses, and it used to be like big sport. And again, we forget, like, because we look today and it's like, oh, you know, basketball, football, you know, baseball, like those are the big 3 sports in the country. You know, not too long ago it was horse racing, boxing, and baseball. And, you know, but there was a point where strongman competitions and challenge wrestling matches were big fucking draws, man.
I wonder why did wrestling ever fall out of favor, man? Like it's such a.
I think boxing took over.
It's such a valuable fucking asset. Like just to, you know, I ran into a customer just yesterday at work. I was making a delivery or some shit. Dude looked at me. He's like, "Oh, you wrestle, huh?" And he was a former wrestler, a little bit older guy. And man, we talked for like 20 minutes, man. Like. Oh, fuck it, dude. I think every kid should wrestle. I was like, yeah, man, I wish I would have wrestled when I was a kid.
Me too.
Dude, the amount, I mean, just from the physical side of it, like how strong it makes you, you know, and the physicality you get from it. But, man, the mental lessons you learn, the challenges and learning about yourself for getting fucking punished and pushed and breaking and coming back and breaking, you know, like,
yeah, dude,
invaluable. No other sport is going to do that for you. And I don't understand why wrestling never fell. Like, it's pretty popular, but it's not. I don't know. Like, I don't understand why is basketball so fucking popular, but wrestling's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I
not
mean,
spectator friendly, I guess, maybe, so there's no money in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's probably the same problem like jiu-jitsu runs into, is there's a lot of specialized knowledge needed to
make it interesting.
Really know what's going on. Like you're saying, I think that because the like boxing, was it the Earl of Canterbury rules or whatever? Like that's where they codified the rules of boxing, so that they could, you know, wasn't just like, oh, this town's got fucking this rule and this town's got this rule. It's like, okay, we're gonna make it a real sport. But that was like late 1800s that went down. So I think that the fall in popularity of wrestling as a spectator sport and probably coincided with that, because again, it's like jiu-jitsu versus MMA. You're gonna find more people who are interested in MMA because they got the striking element. It's just easier to understand. Well, MMA versus boxing. I mean, as much as we hate to fucking say it, man, like there's a reason boxing is so much more popular.
It's easier to understand.
So much easier to understand. You're fucking throwing hands.
2 tools.
Yeah, you got 2 tools you're using. So. And it's a more entertaining spectator sport to more people requiring less specialized knowledge of what's going on. So,
I truly believe. I know this would be.
And the thing, I'll say this too. The thing that makes me annoyed about boxing is that it's an unrealistic martial art.
Yeah.
Because you could not use the same techniques that you use with boxing gloves in a real fight. Whereas like wrestling is a legitimate martial art. You know, like you're going to be able to use those techniques to. But anyways, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just
no. I agree with you 100%.
I don't think it was a positive. We traded one martial art for another one
less effective.
Less effective one.
Yeah, like I believe the benefits of wrestling. I believe in it so strongly. Like, I mean, I think it would fix a lot of problems in society if like wrestling was a requirement in school. Like, you ship your kid off to school, you know, he's got math, he's got English, he's got an hour of fucking wrestling every day.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe you could give him 2 choices, wrestling or gymnastics. I think they would both kind of fill that void a little bit. Both individual sports that are super fucking difficult, very physically demanding, like, man, like.
I think both.
Both. I mean, you could, like, you know, if
well,
you could give the kid the choice. You know what I mean? Like, if you made it a requirement in school,
both.
I'd make in a perfect world, I'd make them do both also. But I'm trying to be slightly PC about it. Like,
why? It's this fucking grumpy guy.
Alright, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Make them do both.
They should do both.
They should do both. Like, that should be like a standard, man.
That should be part of building like good, you know, physically capable citizens.
Yes.
And that's not what we're producing right now.
No.
And again, the link between your physical health and your mental health, like that's the thing that blows my mind with the schools. And they're all like, we need to raise our test scores, so let's get rid of PE so we can have more time studying. And it's like, but you know there's a link between physical activity and physical health and mental health.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, man.
I meant to write this down. I'll get it for the next episode. There was actually a study done somewhere recently that there was a school that was having problems with their kids, so they did an experiment to where they like tripled the recess time, and like all the kids' fucking standardized test scores went up. And all this crazy shit. Like, I forget. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, it was super interesting. Like a school actually implemented it. Like, okay, instead of cutting all the recess time, this isn't helping our kids. These kids are active. Let's let them burn that fucking energy and then teach them. Burn their energy, then teach them. They tripled the recess time. I'll find the info on it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because again, like this all started with when, you know, particularly the Japanese started getting better, like, you know, their better math and science scores and, you know, the technology and stuff coming out. And so we're all like, oh, we got to keep up with, you know, with the Asian cultures in this. But the other thing is in Asian cultures, talk about societal norms, like physical activity is a societal norm. Like you have a lot of, I mean, you know, companies have required exercise time. You know, you see the freaking videos of the dudes in their freaking suits and ties, like going through their, you know, toe touch calisthenics, and it looks ridiculous, right? Because it's not like they're out there like working really hard or whatever it is, but they're moving. Like exercise and moving is like part of the culture. And always like, I'm like, but wait a minute. So what I would be doing is implementing more exercise time in businesses. You know what I mean? Not cutting out exercise time in schools to try and like bridge this gap, because like you guys are there's a difference in how you guys are executing this and how we're executing it. But anyways, I've never understood it. It made no sense, because again, just coming from my standpoint, being like a fitness trainer and just always kind of understanding that link, I was like, this makes no fucking sense. Like you don't bridge this gap by taking away physical activity. That's not going to make people smarter. It's fucking ridiculous. That's not how it works. So, but yeah, anyways, I don't even know how I got off on that.
I don't know either.
Little rant there. But
Good rant.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know.
What else you got?
I think that was about it, man. I don't know if I got a whole lot else. What the fuck else was there? I thought I had something else, and then I forgot because I got off on my side rant there. I do know that we got our R3 ready to sell.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about it a lot. The K2 supplement, the vitamin K2 that we've been using, really helps the hands, and for me, my elbows feel a lot better. And so we came up with our version of it, call it R3 for roll, recover, repeat. That's the process, man.
That is the process.
Keep repeating that process over and over, and hopefully get better from it. But yeah, so we got it all set up and ready to check out. So we got it at grumpyguyBJJ.com/R3 if people want to check out what we got. And yeah,
we had a killer price on it too, man.
We do.
$15 for a month supply.
Yeah, less than 50 cents a day, man. Sound like an infomercial when I say that.
But dude, no, it's legit. You know, we both talked about us. We're both supplement junkies. We have been in the past.
Yeah.
And K2 D3 is a fucking great combo. Like, I use my hands a lot from jiu-jitsu, working out, work. I notice when I run out of this shit, I notice the difference.
Yeah.
When I take 2 weeks off of it or whatever, you know, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can tell.
Yep. So, I know. Yeah, me too. It's one of the few things I've taken where I'm like, oh, that's making a difference.
That makes a difference.
Yeah, so if you got like sore fucking hands, sore joints, you know, doing a lot of the quote unquote right stuff, and is still sticking around, maybe check out the K2 D3, the R3 supplement we got. But yeah, it's a good one. We're just trying to help. Really, our goal is to try to just the stuff that we find useful and helpful, and stuff like the ramping isometrics. I mean, it's not super popular, so we're trying to like help more people learn about these things. Because I mean, honestly, there's a lot of the shit that we use, training wise, nutrition wise, whatever, that not necessarily super mainstream. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of one of my missions is like just trying to help.
That's like the whole mission of
people.
These conversations, man. From the mobility to the ramping isometrics to the K2 D3 to
fucking maces and Indian clubs.
The struggles we talk, the mental, physical struggles we talk about on here, man. Like, yeah, man, it's all the shit we find, like from the fuck ups we make, and then the conversations we have. Like, that's why we do this.
Yeah.
Is that, hopefully, man, like, okay, if we fuck up and tell you guys how we screw up and find things that help us in the process, and
can borrow our experience.
Yeah, like, oh,
it's like that.
These guys are a couple of knuckleheads, and they did this and it helped them. So,
yeah, man, can't know anything until you've either experienced it or until you are borrowing the experience of someone else, and it's kind of what we're hoping to do is let people borrow some of our own experience and not make some of the mistakes or get turned on to some of these tools that took us forever. I mean, dude, I'm still pissed at ramping isometrics. Like, I didn't fucking find it till I was in my 40s. I love that shit.
Yeah, why? I don't understand. It's not like it's a new thing.
It isn't. I don't understand it either.
I don't understand. Because it's not sexy, man.
I mean, I don't know. It's my mission in life to make it sexy. You know what's sexy? Fucking having a tight ass from doing the ramping iso glute bridges.
Yeah.
That's pretty sexy. You know what I mean? Like, results are sexy. Yeah. You know what's sexy? My fucking jiu-jitsu feeling good.
Yep.
Like, my cardio feeling better. Like, that's sexy.
Confidence. You feel good.
Yeah.
You feel good. You feel strong. Gives you confidence.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm not feeling beat up from it. Yeah. So, yeah. But we're gonna work to change that.
One episode at a time.
One episode at a time, man. One episode at a time. So
K2 D3, get it. It's on our website. I'll put the link in the show notes.
Yeah.
So it's super easy.
Yeah.
$15 free shipping.
$15 free shipping.
Dude, you can't beat that.
No.
Yeah, I challenge anybody to go find a supplement, a month supply that's going to be just as, that's going to do them just as good for fucking $15.
Yeah.
Good luck, dude.
Good luck. So, I know. I just ordered a bunch of supplements for me and Kiele. She wanted to get back on the supplement train.
Nice.
She's listening.
Got Masters Worlds coming up.
I know, man. She's listening to the podcast. Like, I forget which one she's done. She's like, so I think we need a multivitamin and some branched chain amino acids and creatine. And I was like, oh, really? All right. Like, she's all fired up. She's like,
she moving up a weight class? Is she trying to get jacked?
No. She's going to hold off on the creatine until she's done. But, man, creatine's funny. It's one of those that... It's like it has a lot of health benefits.
Yep.
I mean, it's not just people. It was a bodybuilding supplement, so it still kind of has that
stigma,
reputation and stigma. But it's got a lot of different health benefits. Good recovery drug, supplement, whatever you want to call it. Do you remember back in the day when fucking like you had andro and creatine and people were referring to them all as steroids? Like, god damn, that was so annoying. You probably still find some ignorant motherfuckers that refer to creatine and steroids.
Oh, I'm sure.
Dude, I remember there was a point when the media, it was during that whole andro thing with Mark McGuire, and it was all like, look at these all these supplements that are steroid like, and they're just like lumping everything in, and it's like, you ignorant motherfuckers, like, that is not how it works. But anyways, what are we gonna, the creatine, branched chain amino acids, but yeah, she's said that, the creatine's good shit to take on its own. I don't know, it's one of those things, like, you take it, and it's not like, that's what I was telling her, like, it's not like the K2 D3 where I'm like, I know when I'm not taking that shit. My problem is I'll start taking that stuff, and then I'll forget, and I'll stop taking it, and I won't feel any fucking different, and I'll just forget to order it again. So I go through these periods like that, and, but anyways, I don't know, man. I think that there's... I don't know where I come down on it. I think, like, taking some supplements to fortify yourself is good insurance, but if you really held a gun to my head and said, what do you really think? I'd be like, I don't know, man. I think it's fucking
Eat clean.
Yeah.
Eat clean
and move.
Sleep.
So, but I'm willing to spend $200 for insurance, so.
Just in case.
Just in case. We're actually getting like a greens powder. It's like a superfood, like greens powder supplement, so it's not like a full, like, multivitamin. And, because that's the other thing too, man. A lot of multivitamin, multiminerals, like, dude, some things interfere with the absorption of other things. So it's not just as easy as that. So, like, that's why we're getting a mineral supplement, and we're getting, like, the greens powder, and getting some branched chain amino acids and some creatine. And we'll see how it goes. So,
Going down the supplement fucking road again.
Combine that with the Mediterranean diet. Oh yeah, that was my fucking thing. I vote. I would like to make a push that we stop calling it the fucking carnivore diet and we start calling it the Mediterranean diet.
I like the Mediterranean.
And I realized I was talking to Kelly this morning. The problem is the carnivore diet sounds tough. The Mediterranean diet sounds snarky because you're obviously making fun of vegetarians. It's like,
I like it. The Mediterranean. Are we still shooting for September 1st?
Yeah, man.
I'm game.
I'm still trying to talk Kelly out of baking bread that whole month.
She better, dude.
Because right now I'm on the breaditarian diet.
That sourdough bread's so good.
It is good. So good. It is good. So yeah, no, I'm still game, man. I'm game, man. I'm gonna get.
Come September 1st, we'll go Mediterranean for a month.
I'm gonna go Mediterranean for a month.
100% for the month.
Yep.
See how we feel.
Yeah. That's it.
I've been listening. I've been going back and listening to the old episodes. Any episode I can find with Sean Baker on there. And I've just been like searching on the podcast app like carnivore diet and seeing what episodes pop up from any show and been listening and learning. And so I'll come into September 1st prepared.
Yeah. So like pork rinds, do they count?
I don't know yet. I would think so.
It's just straight up.
That's fun. I would think so.
Pork skin, fried pork skin.
Yeah.
And yeah. I'm going to have to get some of those elk bars. Those On It elk bars.
I tried one. They're not bad.
No? Not too bad?
Right. I mean,
problem is the Warrior bar's got cranberries and shit in it.
Yeah, the elk one's just straight up fucking
just straight up meat. So I think that'll be alright.
Yeah, because we'll have to set some guidelines. Like, okay, what can we eat? What can't we eat? That way we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how we feel.
Yeah, me too. I know. I'm curious.
I'm sure there's going to be a little period of feeling shitty. Maybe not.
Just eat more bacon.
Maybe not. Maybe, yeah. Just eat more steak.
I'm just going to eat bacon until I feel good.
That might be the move.
There's the move. So
that's the move.
All right. There's our nutritional goal for next month. Yeah. So, all right, dude.
I think that's it. Dude.
That's all I had.
That's a couple hours.
Yeah.
I actually talked about some jiu-jitsu this time. That's good.
We usually do.
Yeah, we do.
We throw it in there. We relate things back. So, but jiu-jitsu's it's related to everything, man. So, and plus it's only one part of life. Got to build. Oh, I got another birdie.
Did you?
I did.
Killing it out there in the disc golf
3 of them
course.
so far, man.
Damn.
Yeah, this was pretty legit. It was like a good 15-foot putt, but it wasn't luck. It was I'm learning how to use my big toe knuckle to drive. Right, that's what you putt with. I gotta draw my energy from the ground, and I can feel it. Right, when the fucking earth gives me the right energy.
Are you using your Earth Runner sandals that are grounding you? That have the little fucking brass.
The little brass.
The brass thing on the bottom, whatever it is.
I'm using my my Vivo Barefoots.
I'm disappointed that you're not grounded.
Well, my Vivos are the sole is much thinner than the sandals, so I'm actually closer to the earth. So.
But you still don't have that little brass thing on the bottom.
Is that what it's for? Grounding you?
You're grounded on your vegan sandals.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just thought
they're super comfortable sandals.
Oh, they're great.
I love them. I dig
them. Oh yeah, the Earth Runners are awesome.
But they are super hippie, dude. Like if you get the non-leather strap ones, I think they even mentioned in there somewhere that they're like vegan sandals.
Oh yeah, they're vegan.
And they got a brass thing on the bottom that grounds you to the earth.
Oh man,
you have to go to the website.
I missed that part. See, I always felt safe because I knew if I was in rubber soles and I was standing in water and electricity hit it, that I'd be safe. Now I'm fucked in those sandals, man. Now I got metal grounding me.
You are conduit.
I lost my fucking safety against random water electric shocks.
Because you're vegan sandals.
Okay, well, it's all right. It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah.
So.
Anyhow.
All right. Well,
call that good. Yeah. K2D3.
Check it out.
And
yeah.
I think that's it, man.
That's it. So.
Call it a wrap.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll get it going, and we'll talk to everybody next week.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Thank you all for listening. You can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. It really does help and will allow us to keep putting out episodes. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, hit us up at grumpyguybjj@gmail.com. Also, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com, and get signed up for podcast updates and get our free BJJ Improvement Starter Kit. That's it for now, so get on the mat, train hard, and talk to you all next week.
Down clown with a permanent rep, a hermit now, boom. Doggy stool, foggy, cool, got a froggy outside Molly dude. Melancholy Daisy dude, hanging by the lace of their shoes. No trace of the tools, shaped in your face, fuck the rules. Snooze, you lose. One eye always open, in times two, no clue, but soon a brief monsoon might give you a view to choose. Stay tuned, include, won't conclude. To the end is near, beware there's consequences for what you do. To me, demon, a devil of many levels. I keep on feeding for several of them rebels. Me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I.